we just made a lot of mistakes.
Check.
Staying calm and limiting mistakes because.
Halo guys, welcome.
I think on Lotus we kind of failed to do that, but we bounced back.
Welcome guys, welcome.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool, calm, collected is what you learned.
Yep.
Also, you guys incorporated so many changes, right? Cruise on that IGLing role, but also Surf on the non-duelist role as well. So talk to me about these changes, why they came through, and also how you guys came to figure out that these were the changes that the team needed.
So I think a lot of people expected that when we play Surf, we would put him on duelist.
Udah berak guys.
I think a lot of duelists nowadays are transitioning to like a sentinel role, especially in like other regions. You have like Leaf, for example. I don't know anymore off the top of my head, but it's in my opinion a role that a duelist can play.
IG bang, IG apa cowok?
And Surf's aim is just so. It's incredible.
Kita sudah siap untuk watch party Paperrex melawan
I won't curse.
T1.
It was.
Biasanya masih ada lagi, nggak sih guys? Sudah nggak ada ya?
It definitely was a really good fit. Now, when it comes to Bleed Esports today,
Thank you someone. Bangsa monyet nangis di streaming. Kenapa monyet guys?
Monyet nangis di streaming. Get enough reps in with their new roster. So, what did it feel like?
Monyet kenapa guys nangis guys?
See like many weaknesses that maybe you can
Seriusan
exploit.
bang monyet nangis.
So going to the match, Bleed obviously made 2 roster changes. So a lot of the data that we had from kickoff, didn't really matter. We did expect Ye would go back to duelist. The most we could do to prepare was, see how he plays, how to avoid him. He's obviously their star player. But for the most part, we were going to go blind. And it was just up to our IGL, Cruise, and everyone else just make adjustments as we play.
Udah buka belum sih guys? Udah buka belum sih?
And lastly, you guys are going up against Genji in your next match. Anything you want to say to Genji players?
We are playing with nothing to lose. I do not care. So good luck.
All right. And I realize, I noticed you're holding something right now. So I'm gonna give you a chance to have a shout out.
Buy the Talon capsule, please.
Buy the Talon capsule. This man has been holding this forever. It's literally like it has your sweat on it. All right. Hey. All right, Governor. Thank you so much and best of luck. And get some rest today. I'll see you again next week.
Thank you so much.
And that was Governor. Everybody, we are going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere because T1 will be taking on Paperrex, and that's the one you don't want to mix.
Gelo guys. Jing! Ada Jing! Paperrex akan melawan T1. Excurate versus Susanto Brother. 2-0 nggak sih guys? 2-0 nggak sih? Kita bikin romantis. Bikin paling romantis. Bisa main nggak sih dia?
Hey skin lovers, I got something for you. Do you know Traded? This is the best platform for trade.
Cacat banget anjing, kill 4 kill.
Sepi itu telinga anjing.
Ya Allah! Ih, apa sih?
Deep breaths, everyone. Your hearts are pounding.
Ih, cuh. Gue ludahin lu. Sumpah. Astagfirullahaladzim, yang kayak begitu bisa kill 14 loh guys. Sabar. Nih, mode bangun.
Anjing gak dibeliin gua.
Yes, this should do.
Wah, gak dibeliin gua.
Sumpah.
Biadab.
This goes here.
Astaga, gila banget. Gila banget gekonya anjing.
Where is everyone hiding?
Gila.
Someone's there. One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Bodoh. Matt. Fair aja. Itu apa guys? Mode awakening gua kah?
Now remember, not the prince
Gua
from your guns.
udah bete banget.
It's
anjing.
just one time ticket.
Tadi gua nggak dibeliin ya, bangsat. Gila banget gua nggak dibeliin anjing. Ih, sinting kali geko kita, bro. Haya.
Sabar bebek, sabar.
Arbor gobi.
That goes there. This goes
Orang mah
here.
kalau main sama wanita mah nggak carry guys ya. Dia mah
Ini marah-marah aja nih si bebek guys.
Out of my way.
yang gua bisa carry.
Mid. Sabar.
Drone-nya di mid.
Tagged.
Salah Sandy guys. Gelo.
Got you.
Gelo. Nembak lagi Sen, satu lagi Sen.
Ya Allah.
Last player standing.
Peluru gua habis. Kok habis?
Kitty masih di Paperrex masih dong.
Kok habis?
Tadi punya udah keisi ya?
Dimainin sama Neon, Cok.
Spike planted.
Di B.
Oh, saya di Bali, Bang. Iya, belum ke Korea nanti, guys. Keren.
Hah? Belum ke reload? Astagfirullahalazim. La walahi.
Susah aja ulti sendiri begini.
Itu di atas, blok.
Keren. Hah? Bengong dia. Reaksi time-nya 74 juta tahun. Bengong.
So, do we mix it
Coba
up?
lihat
FBI
klip
itu
Alexander, Bang. Alexander.
Sehat dark system. Dia mau ilham anjing loh. FBA Mitia itu backstreetnya Cendi. Ngapain pacaran di belakang backstreet?
Hahaha.
Backstreet di belakang gang.
Main sama
Kurang lucu ya?
Sandy,
Sorry dah.
sama dengan main sama Sandy.
Saatnya bersinar guys di sini guys. Sabar.
Rank apa Cok? God begitu anjing. Wah gila.
Aih. Kurang cepat.
Spike planted.
Kita bikin romantis. Bikin paling romantis.
Aneh banget. Orang nunggu pergi dulu ya baru ulti.
VCT Pacific, we got to see a new behind the bleed and Talon winning the first
Jing!
championship point as they found
Kita
their
tunggu,
group.
Jing!
But
Jing!
now it's gonna be a family affair for the next matchup. T1 and Paperrex.
The Susato Showdown is back again. I don't know why people keep going for Derby. I think alliteration is always better, so I think Susato Showdown is a bit better, but with T1 arriving, looks like we'll get to hear from X here.
Weh, kok ada suara? Lah, suaranya!
Even Jinx coming back, it's still only one person, and then maybe they can get a lot of big momentum because we know Jinx is really insane, right? So, but honestly, our preparation is good for upcoming stage 1, so I don't have any worry about it.
Anything you want to say to Forsaken?
Yeah, let's just have fun and then do our best, and then my Dongxing is like kind of sick these days, so I hope he recover well and then can give their best for the next match.
All right, thank you so much for the interview, and I'll see you soon.
What a nice older brother. He knows that
Nggak ini,
Jason
Cok, nggak
Forsaken
apa,
is
nggak
a
gitu
little
deket,
bit
Cok.
under the weather.
Nggak enak lah,
There's
anjir.
no,
Udah sendiri aja,
you
guys.
know, smack talk in this family, which is definitely not like my family.
But I don't think that we'll be seeing any mercy in the game. So that's probably about the only reprieve that he'll get, and Xcure still
Guys,
gonna
enak
be
guys.
Scott.
Oh, absolutely. Now, T1 was definitely a force to be reckoned
Kalau kata gue sih ini harusnya bisa dengan gampang ya guys ya.
A crazy matchup. Everyone's always looking forward to the Susanto showdown, but I think there's a lot more going on here for T1.
I'm just gonna say it. I actually am gonna throw shooting with the Susantos in that one, just because I'm also looking forward to Xcure maybe bringing out the chamber once again. It was pretty sick once we saw it. It felt like it was more hyperactive compared to like Laz's chamber. So definitely something to just kind of watch out for if they do bring that out.
Yeah, he plays it very aggressively. He very much has confidence in his ability to be able to get value with those Tour de Forces. So especially when he has that one available, or even if it's just a standard Xcure is going to be going on a bit of a mission to try to hunt somebody down. So, I mean, it widely has led itself to being map dependent. So I'm curious to see what the pool ends up looking for once we go to
Cahaya out bang, Cahaya reserve bukan out ya kocak.
Maps that are going to enable him to really play the chamber. But aside from Xcure, I mean,
Let's go,
realistically has
Jing
been
back.
talking about on this squad. I mean, Carpe has been, ever since the AVL, really been picking up the IGL role. Ever since we had Zeta stepping back. But one of the big ones, I think, what we'll talk about later is Izu. But for now, it looks like we're ready to hear from Paperrex as well.
Okay.
Welcome back to Pacific. We
Yay!
missed you so much. How much did you miss playing on the stage?
Definitely missed it a lot. It's been like 5 months since I played, so very excited.
Hello
We are all
guys.
excited to see you play once again. Good luck and thank you.
Ada JJ guys.
It's a long time in Valorant time. You know, the game's only been out for like, what, 3 years? But he's
It's like dog
back.
years.
Yeah, it's like dog years. Exactly. Oh, man, because his name is Jing, too.
I mean, this would have been
Not Jing, his dog. In Bahasa Indonesia.
Abang, apa sih bang? Gue mau liat chatnya guys.
We are. I was gonna say this would have been the cruelest April Fool's joke that they could have done, is if they were actually lying the entire time and to release that just a couple days later. But super
CGRS
crazy.
bukan,
I think that
CGRS
this is
itu
the thing that
CGRS
caught
itu
everybody by
guys join
surprise
sebagai
around the world
watch
was the news that Jing was gonna be stepping back into this
streamer gitu
roster.
loh.
Talked about it ad nauseum in other places. Really unfortunate for Moniette, but I mean overall, when you just get the opportunity to bring Jing back into the fold, I don't think that you can fault Paperrex at all for making that decision. Just given the highs that they were able to hit last year, being in that second place position, being in that grand final versus EG, they get the opportunity, they absolutely lunge at it. Now Jing is back in, but as we're talking about, is that 5-month break going to hurt them, or does he have a bit of an explosive return to the stage?
I mean, he is known as one of, if not the best Rays in the world. I think this may still hold true, but I would say Paperrex is now officially the only team with 0 changes to the roster since last year.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, but I'm pretty sure we have had changes.
Katanya udah beres.
pretty much
Wamilnya
across
tuh
the
jadi
board.
dia bukan udah beres guys, dia tuh ada medical
So,
problem
yeah,
jadi nggak
just
bisa
kind of,
wamil.
leave them out there by
Jadinya
themselves,
dia
makes it a little bit more unique,
tapi kalau
I
untuk
suppose,
main
but,
Valorant
I
nggak
mean,
ini
for
aman-aman
HyperX,
aja.
no, it's the Rays, it's the Phoenix, pretty much only on Pearl. Maybe they'll decide to run it elsewhere. I mean, we've been seeing it.
Full screen Mario, sabar. Gue mau liat chatnya dulu, gue mau liat chatnya dulu.
Try to do that, but that is
Third
also a
Susanto
big question.
Derby, anjay.
If Sunset comes in, do they still stick to the same duelistless comp? Because I think with Jing in, you can't actually do that anymore. So I think that you would have to play a duelist there. So maybe Phoenix could come in, but
I have to point out, he has played the stage in the past.
Yeah.
On Fracture. So maybe this could be, you know, he switches it up with Dubai. I don't know. But we're looking at the Susanto Derby, shootout. We're going to change
Ada
it.
medical check
But I
ya,
like
ada.
this, bro. Some things are just not meant to be.
Gila, Cok, nggak-
Even
deg-degan,
if
guys.
Forsaken's a little
Siapa yang
under the
deg-degan,
weather
guys?
right now. This is always a
Ini
highly
harus menang sih,
anticipated
guys.
matchup.
Ini
I mean, their whole
opening harus
family,
menang sih.
these two plus their younger brother, I think he's 10 or 11, also a superstar in this game. But here are some highlights from kickoff between these two teams.
I mean, it was incredible to watch when they squared off before. I mean, just going into overtime and everything. That series was one that just absolutely delivered on all fronts. But it is now a heads up where Forsaken has the lead. He hasn't lost yet to Xcure. Xcure's going to say, okay, maybe third time is the charm. You know, especially with you being under the weather. I wish you the best, but you know, I'm still going to be looking for that win.
Yeah, I just wanted to add as well with Forsaken that he's the player that has played the most agents, I believe.
Tapi SQL gede juga, Jo.
Kind of showing how proficient he has been. 7 agents overall in the span of like 4 different roles on the controller, duelist, initiator. You just name it, he's done.
And he's probably the player that's played the most in the world. Like even outside of Madrid, I think just last season he had to have been like the most flexible player up there.
Zizi lulus dari JKT48 bang, ya udahlah enggak apa-apa guys.
Another one that really comes to mind as far as HyperX players out there, but Forsaken I think by far and away was the most valuable of all of them, and just the amount of just roles that he is able to fill. I mean, hell, even in Madrid, just saying like, okay, I'm just gonna play Raze now on Split, and I'm just gonna crush people. Like it's just nutty what this guy is able to do.
And on top of all of that, I know everyone talks about the no IGL thing at Paperrex, but honestly speaking, we are seeing more and more calling on top of playing pretty much every agent except ISO. Now we're looking at historically T1 and Paperrex's map data here, and Sunset's obviously really good for Paperrex, but it's good for T1 too. And Icebox, they both don't like Icebox. Look at that.
Yeah.
But things have changed for Paperrex. Jing's back. Actually, I don't think Jing likes Icebox.
Penasaran gue guys, Jing bakal jadi main apa nih ya mapnya? Penasaran Jo, Jing apakah masih dengan race-nya, full race gitu? Mungkin tiba-tiba ada berbakat Jing main Seagate, kita nggak tahu guys ya.
These teams would like to go. Lotus is one that very much juts out of my mind, even though that's a 50% for the side of PRX. But looks like we're about to find out as the map draft is ready.
Solo leveling Alek bro.
I want to see the coin. You never get to see the coin. What is it?
What if it rolls like way too far for them to, you know, see?
Team B.
If it's head or tails.
You have to chase after it.
Okay. Competitive integrity.
Oh enggak deh.
First ban for T1.
Drum roll.
Okay, yep. Unsurprising.
Breeze kan? Tuh, bener kan? Split. Oh, Lotus.
Also unsurprising.
Sunset.
Yeah, not having any wins there, not getting any success, and with the 100% win rate over PRX's 50%, they are going to be going for Lotus, so that does lean towards Xgrid bringing out the chamber once more.
And T1 and Paperrex, even last year,
Lotus
has always been, you know, an interesting map between these two teams, and definitely one of the stronger ones for T1 when they're facing against Paperrex.
Yeah. Liking the Paperrex on bind though, that means that we could
be looking at the double
duelist once again. Jinx come back onto this, you know, the just aggressive satchels. I'm already looking for
Essence Sunset.
I love it.
Something like that
Sunset
can come into play. I'd be curious. I'm really curious to see what they do on bind, because I mean, even if they do go for the Yoru, that could just be something going over to, you know, the Gecko on that map, something that he's very proficient at playing with. Sunset as the decider.
Let's go.
I absolutely love this draft, because I think if T1 come out and they can maintain a win rate on
Semangat Paperrex guys.
Like this could very
Jangan lupa guys, kita siap match Paperrex, kita harus berdoa teman-teman ya.
Absolutely. And this is actually the same map draft as the
Oke teman-teman, kita berdoa dulu lah guys ya, mumpung kita belum mulai guys, oke?
Similar.
Kita harus berdoa menurut kepercayaan agama masing-masing, dan semua fans-fans Paperrex, mari kita melakukan doa bersama agar Paperrex di match pembukanya ini bisa memberikan yang terbaik guys. Untuk para fans dan untuk para komunitas dan untuk turnamen itu ya. Berdoa dipersilakan guys ya.
But how are you guys feeling about this with the addition of Jing? I know it's very exciting, and Achilles, you've spoken about numerous platforms.
Let's
your
go.
opinion about this?
Monyet gak main monyet watch party guys.
Look, I mean, I for one, I'm excited to see Jing back. He's just so fun to watch. He is just raised in
Bang, top up follow murah di mana bang? Cek aja guys langsung di link deskripsi karena sudah ada top up VCT termurah Indonesia dengan menggunakan kode Rio juga di
He's so much fun to watch when it comes down to playing this, and I think that even with Forsaken feeling a little bit under the weather, even with Jing not playing on stage for about 5 months, I think that first run back out on stage in front of the audience here, you know, brother v brother, I actually very much favor Paperrex. I think that this is going to be an explosive return for Jing, and then maybe they hit a couple roadblocks down the line, but I think that this is going to be a nice little return to form. It's just going to be really fun to see them back on stage, and then maybe they suffer a little bit down the line.
That would be classic Paperrex.
Oh, sorry.
How are you feeling, Asura, about you know, Monyet or Jing?
I mean, I definitely agree. I'm definitely missing Monyet because I feel like he was such a awesome player that came out from Paperrex. He had so many highlights. He also had that play where he was just trying to stab someone on Lotus. But
kayaknya
I feel like,
boleh-boleh aja deh.
Jing coming back into this,
Itual kita terus ya dulu Bang. Ya gimana guys?
He's a new player. He has been playing with Paperrex for such a long
semangat.
time, so the synergy is already
Paperrex
there. So I feel
semangat.
like, again, like
Paperrex
Akira said,
semangat.
it's just him trying to reacclimate to this newer
Paperrex
iteration
semangat.
of Valorant.
Paperrex
And we were just
semangat.
looking
Paperrex
at the last
semangat.
stuff on Lotus during kickoff.
Paperrex semangat. Paperrex semangat. Paperrex semangat.
It's just great. Anyway, with that, I would like to invite the coach who has definitely changed the game for coach cams. We got Coach Alex from Paperrex here. Welcome. I know this guy.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. Did you know the reason why Pacific doesn't have a desk at the desk anymore is because of you? We knew you were gonna be here. But how are you feeling since Madrid? And you know what, I'm gonna jump straight into it because we don't have that much
Ini
time.
pacarnya Alex guys.
Do you think the teams here in Pacific have an advantage because they had more time to prepare for stage 1?
I mean, yes and no.
Iya Alex.
Yeah, you have more time to prepare, but I think what we get from Madrid is match practice, you know, and you can't like replace that. I think between the two, I honestly, I think I'd rather be here. You know, because I think match practice is, yeah, sure, it's nice, but like, you know, I want more time with my team to be able to like flesh things out. But yeah, so yes and no.
And I have to ask about Jing. We all want to know about Jing. I think the obvious thing is everyone thinks, you know, you just reintegrate him, easy peasy, everything's all the same. Is it really that
Itu pacarnya
simple?
Alex betul guys nih yang cewek nih.
No.
Okay.
I mean, he missed
Well,
he missed 5 months of competitive play. You know, like it's he's gonna have to catch up. I think a few scrims, he's seen some stuff, new stuff. You know, he goes like, "Oh, I've never seen that before." Right? And everyone else is already like used to this kind of thing.
And Asarai, he's a big Monyet fan. He has a question.
All right, just again, you know, with Jing coming in and Monyet not being able to play for Paperrex anymore, how is he doing?
I mean, he's gonna come back to Korea very soon. The thing is, he's staying a bit longer. He took the opportunity to finish his studies. So
Si
he
dia masih
would have
sekolah
had to
dulu,
miss a
Cok.
week regardless. I think he had
Tuh,
some
denger,
papers he
guys.
wanted to complete. But now
Dia
he's just
sekolah
taking the chance to
dulu.
like really study for it.
Ntar dia bakal balik ke Korea dan mungkin bakal jadi sub,
That's usually
Cok.
tough. Do you think that if you were to take that tactic
Pacarnya
there
Alex tuh yang
backstage,
cewek,
it would
bukannya
protect
kacamata,
you
goblok.
from being at the desk, so you'd have something to
Absolutely.
cuddle
Might.
instead of
So, yeah, you gonna give it to
unleashing
me?
your fury?
The cuddle.
I mean, I think the
Angry cuddle.
production might allow you to take the bid. We haven't let
I'm
Carlisle
the-
or any of the other coaches, but if
I've seen that tweet.
if it saves the desk, then they might actually allow you.
Maybe
to
I
take it
just won't
this
slam it today. So I've already, I'm calm now.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Tactic
at
Bear does
home.
that.
You're finding your peace. That's good.
Okay, I have to ask you about T1 too.
Yang
Obviously,
kanan atas,
you know,
babi, yang kalian babi ya.
quite well. What are your thoughts on going against T1 today?
I mean, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I mean, they have a whole month to do like whatever they want to do. So honestly, I think this feels like the first match of kickoff. You know, like everyone's just retooling. I think it's nice that we had a bit of match practice in Madrid. You know, the travel time sucked, but I hope that we can give them a good game because for us, you know, we have a new roster again, right? So we have to feel it out. You know what I mean?
Wah, kamu sama kayak
I
beda
think
bajunya
normally this
kocak
would be
di
a
baju
really
yang tahun lalu.
stupid question for me to ask,
Itu
but
pacarnya Alex,
given
Bang.
that
Itu yang cewek,
you
bener
just
pacarnya
slotted
Alex.
Jing
Eh,
back in, I
IG-nya,
think that
guys.
there's actually an application for this. Do you have any? Should we expect anything new today? Because you guys have been delivering some crazy comps. So do you think that we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of the old comforts?
Gua nggak hoax, anjing.
5 or 6 days of practice with me, so
Beneran itu yang cewek
I don't know.
pacarnya beneran,
we
anjir.
can try. I'll float the idea.
Okay, I wanted to ask the question because I've been asking all the coaches here.
Yes.
You know, with Laz bringing out the chamber, is someone here from Paperrex
Oh,
going
ada
to bring out the
suaranya,
chamber?
Bang. Ada,
maybe
kocak.
for because he's done it in the past.
I mean,
just as a,
we have a chamber comp, but
Ah.
it didn't look very good in practice. It
Okay.
depends, you know. It depends.
Sad.
We might. It's got some use cases.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
And to close it off, before you go into your match, any shout outs to your fan or to your family who's watching?
Hi.
Short and
Hi.
simple. I love that. Again, 2 carrots, 3. Well, oh, sorry. All right.
Iya,
I
dulu
don't
lah.
believe you.
Perek,
Vegetables?
semangat, perek,
All right,
semangat,
we'll talk about it
perek,
backstage. Oh
semangat,
my goodness, the
perek,
Helios.
semangat.
Anyway, thank you so much, Alex. Of course, all the best to you and the boys.
See you guys. Thank you. Oh my
I can't believe you asked that.
I'm sorry. Best of luck.
I was really thinking vegetables. I was like, carrots? Like, yeah, he needs to eat more veggies.
Yeah,
but-
that's what it's talking. They improve your eyesight, right? They
exactly.
allow you to see targets
The
across
game better.
screen.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Of course.
Oh, you guys.
Dribble dulu Bang Cio, babi. Kenapa sih dribble anjing?
My breath on that one. But I'm really excited for this matchup right now. Kind of killing. You got me like blushing
I'm
right
sorry. I said that I wasn't going to do that, and then I just sent it. So.
But anyway, let's cover predictions really quickly. We already know that Paperrex for you. Paperrex.
Yeah.
And this is just because they've been together for so long. William here is being William.
Tuh kakinya tuh
I
kram
will say, though,
anjing.
this is way more one-sided than I would have anticipated.
Yeah.
I thought that a lot more people were going to be leaning in towards T1 here comparatively. So I'm really curious to see if we're actually going to be rewarded for this confidence, or if William's going to get a little bit of an edge up on us.
Yeah. Well, with that, I think we are ready to watch the players walk onto stage, get ready into this matchup. We're going to go over to casters.
Let's go!
And Quack.
Thank you very much, Chubby Ninja, Kilios, and Aster, and of course, our awesome coach, Alex. That was a really fun interview.
I agree. I love his
Let's
answers.
go!
They're really to the point. He doesn't waste any
Paperrex
time.
is in the
He's
house,
good at
yo!
deflecting some of the bad Achilleos questions. Like, it's all good. No, I mean, I think Alex is
Oh
generally.
ini dia kalau sekarang venue-nya itu guys kayak ini apa sih kayak teater gitu ya, kayak teater gitu guys ya.
Answers that, but they aren't like long-winded or anything. He's just going to tell you how it is. You know what I mean? And certainly, obviously, as Mika so aptly put it, the return of the Jing is the kind of big story of the game. But still, T1, man. I mean, yeah, I didn't pick my friends, but I fully agree with Achilleos.
Aku dikatain viewers, guys.
I gotta stick with Paperrex. T1's never even taken a map off of them. So until they can prove to me that they can do that, how am I supposed to go against that unless I'm like gambling that,
Unless you're William, I guess.
Well, he's a gambler, so yeah. Certainly.
He's our maverick.
I mean, I gambled on the last game and lost, so it's his turn.
I mean, it's just a little bit odd, and sometimes
Kasih
there
tahu pick
are
imonya bang,
factors
nggak usah
to
lah.
this. You do
Santai
want
aja,
to think
nggak usah
about
sombong-sombong,
how
nggak
Jing
usah
can fit back in the team. It has
Ngapain
been a while.
sombong-sombong, guys?
At the same time, T1 has had
Sombong-sombong
all this
lagi.
time to practice. They have had a lot of game tape to study on. Maybe there are some counter or anti-strats that even Alex isn't aware, even Alex isn't going to be prepared for.
Well, yeah, and I think like one thing to keep in mind
sabar,
here is
Cok.
it would not be off script for Paperrex to come out here slow, even when they have practiced together, even when they're kind of in a good state.
Semangat, PRX semangat, PRX semangat, PRX semangat.
That's kind of what happened last time, right? That they squared off on split. It was an OT. It was very close.
Lama bang,
and
gua
then they
pengen HP
dominated on
dulu
the
nih.
sense.
Yeah,
So
afterwards.
yeah, and the thing with Jing is, like I've talked to other coaches about going up against Jing, what's that like? And what's really difficult about it is that you don't, game to game, he plays differently. It may look like from an outsider perspective that Jing's just blast packing in, he's just doing crazy stuff.
Meeting nggak
But
watch
there's,
party ya?
timings and things that he does, like
Meeting nggak watch party guys?
whether or not he's going to get in a smoke and blast pack out of it, or he's going to just blast pack through the smoke, like things like that actually make a big difference in how you prepare against a team like Paperrex and how you're going to be ready for the timings and things like that. So you kind of never know what you're going to get. That's what makes him tough to play against.
It's a little bit unpredictable, and I think that's one of the things that gives us that much more confidence in Paperrex, because T1 might not really know how to prepare against a team that just slotting in Jing back in from a bit of downtime. So it takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of practice, but I'm sure that T1 has their own plans. We're touting Xcurate and his chamber back on this Lotus. It's still going to be that good.
Brother
Is
versus
Paperrex
brother
prepared
lagi
for it?
kah? Okay.
I don't think you can ever be prepared for Paperrex until
We
you play
start
them twice, like, in
Anja.
a couple days. Like then maybe a little bit. So we're gonna welcome our teams to the stage, T1 and Paperrex. I just love T1's. T1's banner. It's so sick. Like that archer outside
Yellow,
of the office.
Paperrex.
Yeah, so cool. Paperrex gonna get a big round of applause as well. Definitely, they have made fans everywhere across the globe.
Truly, I mean, our best-selling team capsule, of course.
Pearl lets everybody know it too.
Wow, the first one to walk out onto the stage. Take center. Of course, the return of Jing. How will this all fit in? Will Paperrex be returning to top form? I mean, of course, another team that we're thinking about is still
bisa dipakai,
Gen G with how
week
well they
ketiga kalau
have
nggak salah.
performed in the past few months. T1 right up next to them. There is a very slim chance. It is very possible. You never know what's going to happen in Valorant.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, look, T1 is really, really good. This is a team that I had huge expectations for. They came up just short of making it to Madrid. And I love this roster. I love the way they play. Izu is a player that everybody is telling me behind the scenes, when I talk to other players and coaches, like this guy could be the next superstar. Like he could be the guy that you really need to keep your eyes on as a player that could kind of take over this league and be the guy that we're talking about day in and day out.
Go!
We'll see if that's the case.
Dua kali lah bang, ini udah cepet cok.
With Jing in there, last year was the best team in Pacific, was the second best team in the world. So you gotta dig deep for T1 today.
Definitely have to. Paperrex just looks a little bit more relaxed, like they've done this before, we know what we're about to do, we've got our game plan, we're just going to play to it, stick to it, and let's see what T1 has. I mean, again, you talked about some of these players, Izu, but I think it's really interesting how they have this bit of chemistry. Rossi just being that whimsical fun guy for the team.
And permanently on Viper, which is also amazing. I love it.
So that's just interesting how everything's going to shape up. Can T1 improve that
Saya lagi watch party di Bali, guys.
Again, another player that you want to look at
Ini
also
grinding
apart
nggak
from
sih gas,
Executor, I
nggak
think
sih
we
Vin?
haven't really mentioned all too much, is
Sama
still
Sakura Sol nggak
Saya
sih,
player
Sakura
and
Sol?
how well he can perform in that duelist role. So they've definitely given us some great performances against other teams like Zeta Division before T1. But up against Paperrex, you know, this is always that tale as old as time, the old rivalry. Can they finally do it today? The second day of VCT 2024.
Wih, pakai res tuh, pakai res tuh.
Yeah, man.
Jing udah kelihatan pakai
I
res.
think T1 can do it. I'm not going to be surprised at all if T1 wins, but I still have to go with Paperrex, and they're going with
normal, pakai jet, guys.
And true composition for both sides. No changes from their Lotuses. It's going to be Forsaken on that
Pas break next map,
Keren
tuh
on
boleh,
the
boleh,
chamber. For your Sentinel players,
Cuma sebentar deh,
an exciting
break next map
matchup
tuh cuma
there,
10 menit deh
certainly.
kayaknya.
But Paperrex,
I feel like, yeah, it's just enough said.
yeah, dude.
The crowd is already just cheering for Jing's return.
Yeah. I mean, he's unreal. I mean,
Monyet,
he is the best.
harusnya aku yang di situ. Gimana lagu apa, Cok?
So it's a matter of, again, Alex talked about this on the desk, that they had so little time and things have already evolved so much in the amount of time that Jing has been off of the team that, you know, Jing is seeing new things. He's having to learn a little bit of some of the protocols and some of the plays that are being set up and thought about by Paperrex. A little bit worried about Forsaken,
Kasih tahu,
being
J.
a little bit under the weather.
Lu 5 bulan nggak main tapi tambah 2 kali lipat skillnya, anjay.
Processes and something like that. So maybe today's a day where ZOWIE might have to step up a little bit, get a little bit more vocal.
Harusnya apa? Itu lagu apa sih, guys?
Kind of that pseudo
Harusnya aku
IGL
yang di
role.
sana
He's more like
menemani.
a sub-caller type. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Still, look, you're excited about Jing.
Monyet masih di Paperrex, guys.
But I'm
Jadi
excited
reserve, guys.
about
Jadi substitute.
T1. I really like Xcuret on this chamber. He can be a game changer. He can be a difference maker if he's not accounted
Oh,
for.
harusnya aku yang di sana temanimu, bukan dia.
Very good at doing.
Very, very good.
Unfortunately for desks, as we've seen many times, but he can.
Parah kalian parah ya.
Kalian
parah ya, guys ya.
They don't really adapt to stuff, and they kind of get tunneled in on their own game.
It does a little bit. So, I mean, as a fan, I would think,
Gila, guys.
or even just looking
Paperrex,
at your
Cok.
statistics, a lot of confidence, full confidence
Bukan kayak teater kan, tuh kayak teater, guys.
as the players. But as a caster, you know, I gotta say, T1, you
Gila, baju
really want
Paperrex
to
banyak
see
banget, guys.
if they can make that improvement, if they can cause a bit of damage, if they can create a bit of that dent in Paperrex. Just take one map off of today. They are the ones who picked Lotus this time. They have played this map before against Paperrex and AVL. They lost 5-13.
Yeah.
Will today be
Oke,
a
let's
different
go.
story?
Map pertama.
To be fair
Good
to them,
luck
that
for
was Maniac playing the Rays, so that's even scarier, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
But this has been T1's map, right? This has been their home. This is where you have, you know, really good plays. You know, easy
Paperrex tetap sih taker ya, defending ya. Paperrex
Rossi all over the place with the
taker.
Viper, doing a good job holding down sites. Xcuret just
Anjing,
absolutely
hanya kosong, bro.
disgusting with sniper rifles, given those long-range opportunities. Would like to see a little bit more from Sai. I felt like Sai was a little bit weak in
Gih, B-nya di stack 3, anjing stack 4 Cok, B-nya Cok.
performance overall.
Halo Bang Rio, halo Alexi Wijaya, welcome.
But I'd like to see him pick it up. And this is just like Paperrex starting on the attack, and A site completely left open here. T1 expecting a B hit. They have overstacked the mid of this map.
Almost feels intentional. I wonder if they'll break the door as well. But at the very least, I mean, if we've got the timer on pause. But if things go exactly right, and
Kalau
Paperrex
Pisaran
are
tuh,
just,
lah,
you know, gearing up to head towards A.
Apa sih?
Yes, I forgot T1 was playing today.
Ah, no, that's right.
That's right, they are the Tech Pause curse. We have actually identified the real curse, and it is T1. I'm sorry to T1 fans and the T1 org, because you're all wonderful people, but you are cursed.
Some kind of an issue, of course, we'll just
Baru
iron out
mulai
those bugs,
sudah
but for
take
now, I mean,
pause.
still,
Aku pusing, pusing,
it's back to
sing,
that.
sing, sing.
We had a pretty good day yesterday. It was pretty
We did.
smooth.
Gila dari
One
8A, cok.
little tech pause with an audio issue, very quickly solved.
Gila dari nomor
Wow.
dari Amerika, guys.
Nice.
Enjoy Korea, yes.
Heck yeah. Tons of awesome stuff to do, especially not just in Korea. In Korea, there's unlimited things to do, but in this entire complex, there's awesome stuff to do. So
yeah, I saw
gotta come down and catch some games.
K-Town, K-pop stuff. There was a sign that said JoJo is the best Susanto, the youngest Susanto brother.
They're probably not wrong from what people have been telling me.
It's adorable, but all right, into the game we go. T1 completely evading all of it there. Yeah, pushing down pillars.
Oh my goodness. Is
Aduh,
anybody,
Fi,
I mean, Devi's
Fi.
watching, but he's got the spike.
Oh my god, and he's got a classic.
This is so bad.
The crowd. So many gasps and no's.
They have no idea, dude.
Tree being taken
Woo.
now as the toxic screen
Wah,
goes
tapi
up.
ini nggak di-expect sih, guys. Flanknya 4.
Do have a couple of players from Paperrex watching the back. Xcurate with his headhunter, 6 rounds. Pretty much a sheriff.
Aduh, ini bahaya nih, guys.
Walking all the way through.
Ini nggak expect sih, guys. 4, cok.
Setting up the positions. Saya starts things off with a headshot onto Davai. Of course, now everyone has to divert their attentions away.
Nice, Jing.
You never know who's lurking around
Oh,
the back.
Jing!
Something still sharp
something
as
ya.
ever, though. Able to take down Saya. Xcurate has been spotted. First headhunter shot whiffed. And something's just trying to play it safe, trying to play
Nice
around
one.
positions. Forsaken, unfortunately, getting
Aduh.
taken out, though. And that's all down to Mind Freak. Still rounds left in the headhunter chamber. Goes back out.
Aduh,
2 players.
ente.
A little bit too much. Body
Aduh.
block and everything, and T1 picks up the pistol.
Yeah, some really good ideas from T1. That early
Nice try.
push out almost caught Devi. He barely got out of there in time. But it forced Paperrex to have to just really focus tightly in
Ini
their
Rossi dapat
defensive
3,
setup
bro.
on the side. Like, they can't really fan out. It's tougher to create some extra angles. Something did a pretty good
Itu
job
nice
of trying
banget,
to
flicknya,
buy
anjir.
a little bit of an extra angle, but it's handled perfectly by Rossi and Xcurate. And then they find the right time to pull off. Really smart there, expecting the re-aggress.
Tajam juga, tajam, guys, tajam, guys.
Timing.
Suara game gedein,
Knowing
Bang.
that
Emang
Mind
kurang
Freak's gonna have
gede.
to push that
Udah
angle.
gede, anjir.
Really well thought out there by Rossi.
Whoa!
What? Quick reactions. One little peek, and with a Marshall, he does it all.
Get out of here.
I was just going to say, I mean, T1 was doing a great job. Rossi exceptionally with that sheriff. If he's that guy who's, you know, bringing the fun vibes to the whole team and he's having a good time, the whole team's going to have a good time, but you can never, ever kind of doubt Paperrex.
No.
Aduh, Son.
He's got the outlaw.
Aduh,
So
Son. Aduh,
makes
OP-nya
it
di
easy
situ,
to take down his
Spike-nya di
brother.
situ, cok.
Sagan goes down, but still, you get an upgrade in a Spectre. Ooh.
Oh, something.
Yeah,
Drop back
overpick.
over to the classic, but with the mount, just kind of exposes himself a little bit more. Rossi back in with the sheriff, and the rest of the Paperrex team trying to continue to pile up front towards A. Jing has a bit of an angle. He hears the footsteps.
Ya, nggak dapet, Jing.
Checked by Saya. Great job, T1. Couple of shots from Divide too, but that's the most that he
Dapat
can
2, lumayan,
do.
dapat 2, guys.
2 players down. Still a pretty good win for T1.
I could have gone a lot worse for
Jing,
T1.
tombol skillnya VCT,
That
Bang.
opening pick
Iya.
kinda
Aduh.
can
Not
send
a good
teams
start,
reeling
tapi let's go,
sometimes.
guys.
You kinda get in your head
Byron.
that nothing's safe, but Xcurate very ready, and kind of a stuck peak there. Forsaken not jiggling at all. Went for the angle.
Rossi lagi panas, Rossi
Something
anjing.
couldn't get underneath the mound. Rossi made him pay. Jing not able to win on his lurk. Well accounted for. Mental discipline really good for T1.
Oh, good. Good job.
I mean, that's the preparation coming in.
Take pause lagi, kenapa
Not
sih?
sure what it is. A bit of an, audio issue, I guess. fans crack me up. But yeah, you know, you can definitely see that there are some of these plans that are intentionally cooked up for Paperrex. Because how often do you actually have a team that just completely leaves A open, pushes out a B pillar, just to wrap them around like that?
Yeah, basically never. Like, it just, this is the thing about Paperrex is you almost have to kind of do the unexpected because of their unexpectedness, right? And that actually does throw Paperrex off. It can be something that they have a difficult time accounting for, like lurks at weird timings and stuff like that. I've seen that punish them time and time again because they don't really think about it sometimes. Again, they can get a bit of those blinders, a little bit of tunnel vision. If you're going to find any fault in Paperrex, there isn't much. That can be it.
I am reminded of what happened against EG at Champions last year. So, definitely a good point. A lot of things going up. A lot of Paperrex fans, T1 fans as well. As Valorant increases in popularity in Korea.
Accurate sign, please. The signature there. A lot of T1 fans, yeah, for sure. Jojo, yeah, there's that sign. Jojo, yeah, that's I mean, look, both orgs. Ton of popularity. You know, obviously, we're in Korea. T1's going to have a little bit of a home field advantage in that respect, but Paperrex is just so entertaining to watch play that it's easy to make fans when you're that good and that unique. The way they play is unlike anybody else in the world. So
it's always fun, and it's a bit of a challenge to the teams that go up against them. Right now, it's going to be T1. You know, in the past, we had seen Gen.G up against them in kickoffs, but Gen.G, you know, knew how to deal with it. Paperrex trying to adjust to this,
Gen.G gave them a taste of their own medicine. They played aggressive and kind of were taking a lot of confident angles. Yeah, that was. If you're confident against Paperrex, it can snowball. It can snowball a bit. Cam check, that was fast. Okay.
Hati-hati, Jos. Itu Jason.
Starting things off with a bit of that lurk, a bit of a re-peek, and 2 kills. So quick, collected. The rest of the team now pushing up. A little bit of mind presence to know that there could be more players trying to make this B play happen. It happened on the pistol round. Maybe T1's going to do it again. A is completely open after all.
Yeah, something already getting up towards heaven.
Good smoke, though.
Very good.
Allows for something to play around the positions. You got Jing ready with the paint shells as well. This is a good setup.
It could be red. I mean, this is kind of what Paperrex likes to do. Yeah. I know what you meant. All right, Forsaken.
Nasi.
Okay.
Aduh!
He's got the quad. This is just round 3. T1's trying to play it safe, trying to do what they can do. But then Forsaken just comes up from behind. This is the same-ish debut that we saw from Paperrex last year in the regular season of VCT Pacific.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you expect out of a player like Forsaken, even if he's a bit under the weather. Not too shabby. Almost gets the ace here. Man, oh man, he is darn close.
Amazing. He looks good.
Hey, he looks fine.
Apart from the fact that
nice.
Another thing I think we haven't really quite spoken about is the friendship between Forsaken and
the bromance.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Oh, that spot.
Great fade. I mean, that's going to be now T1 trying to fight in for this. But Mindfreak is not going to let them go down without a swing. Shrouded steps away, and they are definitely aware of it. But look at what's happening across the map, too. Forsaken through the link. Catches Execute from behind. Now so much more space being gathered. You've got the trip wire in front of Rossi. He can't go through for free. Neural Theft just reveals. And that's the go signal for Paperrex to get the spike over on A.
Well, he's at least able to grab it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to give him the Viper's Pit next round. One way or another, he's only got a judge. He's not going to go for this.
Forsaken's getting an orb too. We're all playing Pac-Man over here.
Great game.
I
think Forsaken is already showing off why I love to see him on this map on Cypher because he's so tricky to deal with.
The mindfulness, yeah.
He's all over the place. He's really good at holding the C site sometimes. It can be broken open, of course, but I really like the way he plays the Cypher. And Rossi, see if we can find any value out of this. I mean, the economy is weak for these 2 surviving players of Paperrex, but the other 3 have quite a bit of money.
Waiting for exits. He's got the judge. There goes the first. Fires off a second shot even before he sees Mindfreak, and it does connect. T1, although Paperrex picks up the round win, Rossi walks away with a bag full of gold.
That's huge. That's a lot. He's able to recover the op. Gets the Viper's Pit online. Didn't even have to die. That's a massive, massive play for Rossi. Yeah, they don't get the round win, but it almost feels like a loss for
miskin tapi guys.
Like,
Miskin. Enggak sih, enggak miskin banget.
We'll see. Okay, so Mindfreak has From the Shadows available. Jing's 1 point away from the Showstopper. Something 2 points away from his Bladestorm. But on the other hand, T1 already has 2 ultimates at the ready. Economy maybe not the greatest, but they have a lot of tools at their disposal.
That could really change the dynamic. Here we go.
Whoa! Whoa! Doesn't quite connect. Side player in a bit of a tricky position right now as Forsaken hunkers down. Watches out over onto Pillar.
Nice banget, Jason, cok. Jason bagus banget mainnya, guys.
B-side is open.
Knew there would be the reload, and he knew he could push through. Really smart play from Forsaken.
Jeez Louise, oh god. And now it's going to be the operator with the angle. Down goes Mindfreak. But down goes the Spike carry as well. Side players come back.
Ngapain anjing?
Although they've got the positioning, the spike drops. Viper's Pit now up by Rossi. They know they should have this round. How do you push back in? Look at what's happening again. Forsaken. It's happening again.
I think Xcurate has a decent idea that his brother's doing this.
All right, all right. Well, I want to see how Forsaken can. Does he check it? Do you know what your brother's doing? Or is it going to be in a pink mist?
I mean, they got time to really make sure that they're set up, kind of come from all 3 angles at once.
Ooh!
Unbelievable.
1 shot, 1 kill. Now on to the next. And he's online for the ace. Rossi's right around the edge of it, and Forsaken just sprays downtown.
Jason gila, cok. Kencang banget, cok. Jason, cok.
Unbelievable. What a game he's already having. 11
Jason
kills in 5 rounds.
Are you kidding me?
Just blistering stuff from Forsaken.
Gelo, Jason kencang banget, guys.
I don't know what Jing was doing there. That was a little weird. He had a toxic screen in front of him, and he went to try to plant with no cover. But you know,
had it marked.
I know. Xcurate knew. Jing's just, or Forsaken's just better.
Unbelievable. And the way that he was checking into the Viper's Pit as well.
My God.
Out the corner. Rossi was the one who walked into his crosshairs. And that's just tiny little timings that allows Forsaken to capture that ace. Next round. Paperrex has been really good at going towards this ace site.
Itu cara menembak, po.
T1 now no longer aggressively pushing out of B. Forsaken goes back in for a bit of adventure on his own. Uses the cyber cage to set up the spy camera. Does not expect his brother on the other side. He only spotted it, went in for this camera tag. The rest of the team, though, has already made their way in, but because of the smokes, Cyan player able to take down Jing, something in for a bit of a trade. 2 players remaining. You've got Node, you've got the Bladestorm.
Oh my.
Comes down to sharp shooting. They know the angles. Something's prepared for it. Snaps back onto Izu's head. Triple kill on a hat trick now. He knows Xcurate right around the corner too. Doesn't have the spike though, so this is just gonna come down to kills. Can Xcurate be accurate enough to out-snipe this? Watches down the angle onto towards stairs. It's taken a little bit too much time, so he brings back around. Catches something just as he peeks out. The shot through the engine block, and T1 back 3-on-3.
Dia panas juga,
This is starting to look like a Paperrex match for sure. It is fast and furious, and this time it's a bait and switch.
Djaja kenapa Djaja nih anjir? Djaja deg-degan kayak.
With Izu to get his brother Jason to fall for it. Rossi holding that door nicely. Something almost takes this round. I mean, these huge multi-kills for Paperrex. You can see, wow, Xcurate wants that. He's got that serious look on his face.
And off of the win, a timeout being called now by Coach Autumn, interestingly enough. They have an equalized score. They want to bring it to a bit of a lead. They are sensing that Paperrex, are coming in with a bit of an adjusted strategy. In the past, maybe it's the hyper-aggressive stuff, but this time around, you always want to watch out for Forsaken on this lurk.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest part of this, is that they can't have Forsaken just running over their flanks, just tearing them apart. And certainly for Alex, he's probably trying to get them a little bit more dialed in, trying to get them a little more disciplined, because they're getting caught in some weird angles. Rossi's doing a good job finding some moments. So you got to be ready for Xcurate's op. got to make sure that you're not walking out in front of it. We saw it very early on when it was an outlaw, but basically the same gun in that situation, right? Where Forsaken just kind of wide peaks it enough. So you got to be kind of more diligent, some of the smokes and some of those things, and it is going to be time for that tour de force to come out, and this is the double op setup. Saya player can pick it up as well, and we see that all the time with T1 on this map.
Very potentially deadly stuff. I think there's also been a call for Forsaken to be a little bit more careful about some of these corners where Xcurt is definitely marking him. Something on with the judge, though, is a very interesting thing. They've managed to go in and flood down the B site. Spike has been planted. Jing with the showstopper. Although it doesn't quite land, good bit of damage. Rossi comes in for the trade. Mindfreak trades right back. Paranoia sent out by Izu as they try to push back out from the door side. Shrouded steps into the smoke. Now they're trying to play around it. Divide definitely hears this. Goes back in just to free fire, but the run and gun doesn't quite work out. Something comes back in off of the information just to try to collect on these kills. But fire blank range, Saya player connects the shot, swaps over the classic, and lands a great old one onto Mindfreak.
Is that a no-scope? Just point blank off. Absolutely bonkers stuff. The pace of play is insane.
Planted.
I mean, this is just, oh no, the one-way Forsaken there. Just walking right underneath it. Yep. Yep.
Unbelievable.
Disgusting.
Jing belum panas nih guys, Jing belum panas guys.
That's why, I mean, Saya player still is that duelist that can always step up. If,
Aduh, Pacik juga lemas, Pacik guys. Pacik balik, Pacik!
Wasn't maybe as loud during kickoffs, but he definitely still had great performances, especially against
telat,
Zeta.
mana ada sih telat, bro?
Up against Paperrex, it might
Udah
be a
paling
little
akhir
bit
ini,
different, but right
Cok.
now, today, this is shaping up to be a bit of a challenge for Paperrex too.
We know how good he can be. And there's just no breaks on this game. I mean, this is just a full-on C hit. There is no hesitation with the Blade Storm to lead the way, trying to play off the back of these Seekers.
And T1 are just trying to respect Paperrex as well, walking through. Did not check the corner where Izu is. Right up around the side, Jing tried to go in for the trade, but unfortunately shut down as well. T1 now having the numbers advantage, gonna press on with the pressure. You got the showstopper, the rocket at the ready, and it does land. Forsaken right underneath, not able to deal with the close quarter duel. Now Xcurt coming up from the door, they swung out, they captured Mindfreak.
That's not good, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good, that's not good.
Gotten the lead, T1 moves forward.
Yep, flawless for T1.
Flawless.
Handling the pressure very nicely, not giving any opportunities for this aggressive style of Paperrex. Just having a good read on when they can strike, when they can get in some angles. Paperrex isn't expecting it.
It's not good, that's not good, that's not good, guys.
Problem that you see sometimes with Paperrex. I mean, Jing was trying to do something about it, but shot out of the air by Izu. Absolutely insane stuff for T1. They are already forcing that timeout. I don't blame Alex here. He needs to right the ship and right it fast. Definitely see if he can maybe get him to work the map a little bit more. Maybe see if they can put the tempo down a little bit.
Santai dulu katanya guys. Semua kita bisa menangkan dengan cara santai. Chill, kita percaya bahwa Tuhan dalam persertaan kita. Kita percaya bahwa hidup kita diberkahi dan semua berkat turun kepadanya dan kalian akan mendapatkan semua berkat itu dengan sesama. Jadi percayalah, oke? Semua bersiap-siap, semua kita akan mulai sebentar lagi. Jangan lupa untuk selalu berdoa dan tetap percaya pada teman kalian dan tetap happy. Jangan lupa senyum dan jangan lupa.
You mentioned the tunnel vision overheating a little bit. They had the spike down on C. No real reason for something to continue pushing out all that far. You can admire the idea for Jing to try to go in for a trade, but after that, you know, without the numbers and the showstopper coming in from Saya player, it was just a bit of a tough round.
I mean, I'm sure in his mind, he's like, well, if I can just get towards their spawn and get to that raise before the raise gets the showstopper out, then I'll look like a genius. But that's Paperrex,
come on, man!
Right? Like, this is the way they play. It is high-octane gameplay, to say the least. And I don't mind the idea. I do a little bit want to see Jing pull back there and then play a little bit further back, but it's going to be tough no matter what with that showstopper in play.
That's why it's a little bit of a tough position to be in, but at the very least, you can say that they have forced the hand of T1.
Yeah, economy's not great for Paperrex. They had to invest just about everything they had into this round, and it still came up short. It's still a Guardian and a Bulldog.
Forsaken still lurking. Not really finding all too much. This time the protocol's in towards C. Playing together, not extending too much right now. They've got waterfall, they've got the door marked.
They knew where that plant was coming down, and Rossi tried to punish it.
Execute waiting for the door to tap. Waiting for the team too. Forsaken should be able to hear most of this. You can see that he's communicating it to his team right now. But unfortunately blinded, not quite able to do all too much. ZOWIE on the other side, a bit of a tap with the Phantom, but instantly traded. Spotted Execute through waterfall now, something. Wanting to take the duel, they know they have to watch out for Mound.
Nice.
Trades coming in, and the timer's still ticking away. A bit more of a standard round as Jing alongside Mindfreak do their job at anchoring down the spike. T1 not able to retake.
Let's go, Jay. Let's go, Jay.
Not unlike before.
Yeah, and I think Alex probably told him exactly what you were looking at in that previous round.
Baru pakai jersey Paperrex yang
go
baru
too
belum
crazy.
dapat.
Get the plant down, then settle in. Get these post-plant coverages, get your trades in place, and that's what gets Paperrex over the line here. A little bit cleaner in their reactions. Carpe having a really nice one. Getting 3 big kills. Just isn't quite enough. Execute with that op in a rough position towards the end.
Let's go, Jay.
Some good movement there from Jing. Didn't
Ope nggak
overcommit to
diambil,
that
lagi ngapain
angle.
Ope kali.
Didn't give Execute any real chance to take him down.
Cyber cage up again. We're back into that same C strat. T1 trying to adjust around it. Reinforcing the site now with Rossi and Izu. Side player joining the team.
Gila si Jasot mainnya berani banget ya.
Use that prowler to set up Execute. Izu out of the air goes something.
Was that pre-aimed? I'm curious, but he definitely got that shot. Now Paperrex has to rethink their decision. We can't quite go into C any longer.
Oh, 3C udah 3C, bro.
Yeah, this is not. They've overstacked it, and then on this,
Nice!
Forsaken again.
Wide swings just a little bit further, an inch over the crosshair. Execute not able to fire off his operator. Mindfreak on the lurk this time. This is how you play Lotus. You've got the Neuro Theft as well, but Rossi coming back in to investigate. Great awareness. With the op now, though, picked up from his brother. Not quite able to flick back over.
Gak sabar, guys.
Opened himself up to 2 and had to check.
Oh man, 2 on 4. Jing has the showstopper. Nice. Doesn't need it yet. Both players able to do so much. Now just pulls out the showstopper for a bit of security. Tries to blast back away into safety or hop away into safety, but Izu, playing off of his teammate, gets the information and plays the position to perfection. 6-4, T1. The adjustments for both sides are great, but T1 still feeling that lead.
Well, she's Louise, Izu. Absolutely bonkers. I don't know how Rossi read that. That's insanity. I don't know if there was an accidental footstep or sound given over by Mindfreak. But that's just tremendous awareness there. And Forsaken, again, we're seeing these problems where
gue serem nih guys, defense-nya kalau tag dapat dikit
push
doang.
more and more and more space on the map, but it gets to be too much too far. If Forsaken just kind of pulls back and holds a different angle, he doesn't offer himself to 2 potential angles that he has to worry about, and that's what ends up costing him. The timing, just too much.
T1 exercising that patience. Now adjusting to another site. C has been blocked off by the
3 orang equal guys. Mendafai doang yang beli ya.
So in towards A. Trying to play around the door. You've got that Prowler being sent out. Something just trying to land the shot. Close the position.
Nice.
Good swing now coming through. But at what cost? You still got stairs to worry about. And Izu doing a good job at anchoring. Despite, you know, still calling him a bit of a rookie, he is providing that impact.
Gak gitu dong, anjing Davai ngapain dah, buset. Davai lompat gitu, Cok.
Mindfreak trying to buy all the time he can. Forsaken, got one.
Forsaken's got to watch out for Rossi.
Tuh, dikit lagi, Jing.
Good dink. But Execute with the shorty jumping over.
Oh, he knows.
Wow.
He
knows.
He knows. He's been pretty good at reading. Just because he's losing to his brother sometimes in the duels doesn't mean he hasn't read it pretty damn well.
Kalah sama OP doang nih guys, anjir.
Coming in from T1.
I love it. I mean, but one of the concerns I have, and this is something I mentioned at the beginning, is that if you leave these sight lines open for X-Great to pop off with the op, he's gonna knock you down. And they're not smoking off that stairs angle, or at least, you know, they're not finding the right timings after smoking it off. That X-Great isn't allowed to punish it. And they are on a buy, and they are on B.
Okay. Oh, it's that Nightfall Carpe now.
Oh
my god.
Ah, kenapa
Sound
tinggal 2 yang
completely
masuk,
robbed, low
Cok?
health, and it's just, it stills the rest of the T1 squad with so much confidence that they just
Rata
push
3,
out,
Jing, dari mana 3 ya? Satu
decimate
lagi, aduh,
Paperrex.
Ceco.
And it's this toxic screen that cuts off the frontline players of Paperrex again, and they don't have any ability to help off the back of it quick enough, and so you lose your 2 duelists.
The squad's been, split in half because of this.
We saw it earlier. Jing died trying to plant the spike, but they're still able to recover the round. But this time, it's going to take some heroics from Dubai and Mindfreak.
Last player standing.
Lagi, Cok, Mindfreak.
Not today, not for now, as we near the end of the first half. And 8-4 shaping up for T1. And I mean, just think about how it happens again.
Jadi nggak sinkron gini guys, anjir, habis ganti Jing, Cok. Nggak
Got
sinkron
all of
masuknya
these
kayak aneh
players
gitu
from
ya.
the side of T1, and they are just
30 seconds
prepared to toss all of these haymakers against Paperrex. That Nightfall, the toxic screen that you were mentioning, Paper Thin, and now the rest of them just collecting on these kills.
Look how fast
Oh
they
boy.
start swarming for Dubai.
All right, able to get the first. He knew that one was coming in from defender spawn, and that's why he turned around, but yeah, 3 players coming out from Mound. 8-4 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, this is great stuff from T1. All it took was that one time out. They were pretty well on track after that. Great recognition there by Autumn, even after winning a round, that they needed adjustments, that they needed to kind of take the fight to Paperrex at times. Get themselves into better positions, use their utility to their advantage.
Menang Pistoron yuk, Pistoron defending yuk.
Cut up Paperrex piece by piece. They certainly have made a bit of paper mache out of Paperrex so far. What the heck?
Bagusnya Bang T1 terus Bang. Iya bagus Cok, karena dia main OP guys. Nah gua nggak tahu nih guys, attacking mereka kan nggak mungkin mereka OP banyak ya.
The Russian doll.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does, you know, feel as though Paperrex takes a little bit of time to
Half
adjust
time, half
around
time.
this. Like you're mentioning, turning them into paper mache. There's so much that they have to kind of work around. Meanwhile, T1 has had all this time to prepare. They picked this map intentionally, and it shows that they definitely know how to work their way around it. I mean, some of these setups where you have Izu watching for something as he tries to execute onto C, X-Curate marking a lot of these positions where he just knows whether or not it's his brother who's going to show up or some of the other players from Paperrex.
Defense-nya kurang, makanya kalau Tekken dapat dikit malah gua worry. Harusnya Tekkennya dapat 8-4 gitu, masih mending ya.
Very few rounds that T1 was completely fooled. They read things pretty well for the most part. Took some pretty spectacular plays from Paperrex.
Something bisa mati
really
bro.
Dislodge X-Curate.
Something mati nggak dapat 1 udah berat guys ya. Something harus dapat 1 guys kalau dia
Rossi 11-7. Izu 9-9, but some of those kills Izu has gotten have been really flashy. So you gotta like what you're seeing for T1. And now over to the attacker side. Again, generally this map, that's the side you're gonna favor. A lot of work to be done by Paperrex, looking for some kind of mound hit here. They're just gonna push.
Wow. Oh, I don't know how great this is gonna work out. Something able to trade off for Jing, but unfortunately that Sheriff has been dropped. X-Curate now on the other side, marking Pillar. Able to capture onto Forsaken. Mindfreak on the other side with a classic. Just peeks out at the right time, but goes in for the reload. And Rossi just capitalizes. Something now with the swings, and all of a sudden Rossi, cold and alone, feels the pressure, needs to get the spike down at the very least. He has the timing for it, but Paperrex has the numbers.
Sheriff going to be grabbed by Devi, able to get a big chunk of healing. That could be a very important factor into how this round plays out, but Paperrex kind of gambled incorrectly here. This is going to take some time, and now they realize, uh-oh.
Wow. Okay. So if you were in Rossi's shoes in this very situation, you can sense the timing of which Paperrex might take to rotate over back onto C. He's going to make use of this. There are some pings across the map.
He's going to hear the footsteps, so... Less
oh, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Something with the swing just...
Itu apa,
the
anjing?
widest peak.
Lari ke ujung, anjing, ini
All
swing.
the way over to the right.
Nice pistol, let's go.
End it.
There's that after image again. Trying to keep up with that.
Jauh banget, anjing,
That's
swing
hard,
swing.
man. I mean, you expect him to stop, right, at some point?
Yeah.
But he just keeps going. You expect him to try to shoot back. You know, you got to stop to get the aim
kalau
steady to
right
this
stick
game.
sekali lagi menang tuh si
Device is waiting. He knows it.
We're having fun.
That's all according to plan there. He's like, I'm just going to keep going, Devi. You swing on the back of it if there's contact and get the kill.
Apalagi nih, guys?
It's a good shot. A bit of a tech pause again.
Masalah mulu dah.
Players trying to correct their equipment or audio issues. But for now, you know, Paperrex coming back in with this pistol. They are now 8-5, able to buy back up on the next. That's right, on the defending side, I think it's that Pacific thing. we're doing Pacific things of pushing on defense. T1 just not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. These are only things that happen in
Monyet,
Pacific,
apakah
it
ikut
feels
ke
like
stage, Bang?
sometimes.
Belum, guys. Monyet masih di Bali karena dia mau sekolah dulu, katanya mau ngelarin
This is what
sekolah.
makes Pacific so fun, is we're a little off the rails. And that's a good thing. I mean, come on. Two out of the top 3 teams in Madrid were Pacific.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for us, all right?
Still waiting for the one team to, you know, possibly Shanghai or Champions Korea, maybe.
It's happening this year.
It has to.
Look, this is all right. I'm just coming out there, going with the big prediction. Either Shanghai or in Seoul, there will be a Pacific team that lifts a trophy this year.
Has to be.
Just saying. That's
Hear that?
a
America's
guarantee.
JJ kasih lihat, J.
Oh,
JJ
that
tadi
won't
mati
come
mulu,
back
guys.
to bite
Kasihan
me
dia.
at all.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But
Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that, I think it's also just really lovely to see how, you know, Paperrex, although it's taken a bit of time and they haven't had that much time to
dulu, Bang.
adjust,
Ini lama banget,
they're
coy,
still
anjir.
able to just plug and play, go into the game, and you have some of these ideas where Forsaken peeks out of pillars, Mindfreak tucks and hides underneath that box where he actually is able to peek out and, you know, collect on a few more kills.
Yeah, there's these extra layers to what Paperrex does that makes them so tricky, right? Because it feels like they're kind of just W keying at you. Like
Lama
obviously
uga, guys.
that's
Lama
their
uga, bro.
motto, but they actually kind of don't at the same time.
Lama
You know what I
uga
mean?
nih,
Like,
guys.
like somebody's gonna W key at you, but there's plans behind it. Like you can see in that pistol round, right? Something's pushing way out there, but he's quick to react to be like, "Oops, I overdid it," and he still has the dash, so he can piece out. But then there's the other side of it coming, and then there's another layer to it because, like you said, there's the Forsaken there, and then Mindfreak as well, and they hide it. So there's actually a lot of strategy that goes into what Paperrex does. People kind of meme on this team, and it kind of makes me a little bit upset in a way because there's actually quite a bit going on underneath the surface. They're sort of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. Maybe like, that's not good. I was gonna say a duck. You know how ducks are like really smooth on top of the water, and it looks like they're just, you know, like, and then underneath,
just floating.
but underneath it's like
they're actually paddling a lot.
Yeah, but it's not quite right. That's not good enough.
I'll take it, actually. Yeah,
Alright.
or, the, you know,
lama
there's that
banget, Cok.
picture of the iceberg where,
Meeting
like,
nggak buka watch party?
underneath.
Iya nggak tahu kenapa meeting
Yeah,
nggak
there's
buka.
actually a lot
It
more.
looks shallow, but it's actually quite deep. I think that's better. I like yours
Precisely.
better.
Nah, I like the duck because ham quack.
That's fair. You know, it didn't even occur to me.
Ini
until
kamu
just
buka
now.
baju, Cio.
But yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Paperrex has, but whether or not they can actually convert that pistol win into even more rounds, that's still something that we have yet to see, because another thing that they're always known to do is to sometimes overheat a little bit too much. T1 definitely shows that, you know, today they have a lot of these set plans. They have a lot of counter strategies and prepared against Paperrex.
Yeah, and T1 is happy to brawl too. Like, if that's what it comes down to, then T1's got the players to do it. No doubt that they are just as capable mechanically. So it's just a matter of getting yourself in the right place at the right time, reading things correctly. So the first half, absolutely they had a good read on it. Absolutely, this is a map that T1 has always been favoring since this new roster was put together. You can see why. And I mean, obviously, X-Curate's a big part of it on that chamber. He has so many sightlines and options to really utilize that agent to its fullest, and I'm thinking maybe some other teams should look into it.
Yeah. I mean, you can really see how they make use of that operator a lot, and Chamber especially. And, we're always talking about how we want to see more teams pick up the Chamber, maybe Ye back on it. We haven't seen it so far, but X-Grid is one of these players alongside Last who have definitely shown us how to make use of this, how to use that rendezvous with the trademark, and he really puts himself in these positions where he marks a lot of these angles, and it makes it a little bit oppressing for some of the Paperrex players to peek out of, unless they kind of have an idea that he's around the corner.
Yeah, but again, Paperrex doesn't account for it enough, right? To be fair,
Forsaken did the one round with the
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. Because eventually you're going to run out of utility. You know what I mean? If X-Curate is disciplined enough, there just isn't enough utility available and around to deal with him. That being said, I still felt like there were a few opportunities for Paperrex to do a little bit more to try to make him uncomfortable. Whatever, that's neither here nor there, but I think a lot of teams can run Chamber on this map. I mean, obviously, yeah, Laz is the first one that comes to mind.
Kalian mau lihat guys shot M gue kayak gimana tuh gue kasih lihat ya. Pas lagi break,
Throwing it over to depth. Look, I think Chamber's just fine on most maps. I think Ascent is about the only map where I'm just like, well, I think you're mostly better off playing a Killjoy no matter who you are. But, it is what it is. I'll be curious to see. I mean, Alex did hint during the desk that they do have a Chamber comp somewhere. I don't know what map it could be behind, maybe,
but who's going to be the one playing the Chamber?
I think Forsaken.
And, I kind of wish I had a Chef Toke here next to us so that I can, I'm cooking. Well, Forsaken Chamber versus X-Curate Chamber.
I mean, that would be... That's just a dream. I mean, that's everybody in the world will lose their mind, and that's okay. That's a good thing. I mean, because then I think, Something plays a lot of Gecko, so you can do that on Vines. You can play Chamber, you can play Jing on the Rays, Something on the Gecko, Divide on the Sky, and then...
on the Chamber.
Yeah, Mind Freak, and then Mind Freak on, Brimstone or whatever you want to do. I think it could be their Vine comp, I don't know.
You never quite know, but the fact that there is that possibility is always a lot of fun. And it just makes you think, how much Paperrex has prepared for this, how they're going to get Jing back into, peak form for this roster to take on the whole VCT Pacific.
And it hasn't... And I can tell that Jing is uncomfortable. You can tell that Alex wasn't just messing around during during the interview.
It does take a little bit of time. I mean, I'm sure Jing is just, still reacclimating back to being in a different country.
Udah, Cok, kasihan, Cok.
It's a bit of a reunion, but at the same time, there is work to be done. There's that rendezvous. What a piece.
Stream itu udah mulai, guys.
Well, it is going to be Jing.
Orang ini dua Pacific, Cok. Dari mana lebih cepat, Cok? Cara lebih cepatnya gimana, Jing?
The Vandal and the Outlaw to be swapped between those two players. Idea coming through. T1's going to try to flood. Only one.
Ini Twitch udah paling cepat, Jing.
Preference players and the positioning that they have.
Nice.
Paperrex has the right setup as T1 tries to barrel through, but Divide shovels them down. It's going to be Paperrex, of course, coming back in. Now Mind Freak.
Yeah, Indo, waduh.
A little bit more money.
Is this the glass cannon? We saw this earlier not go so hot for Bleed. And X-Curate's going to stick with it, it looks like. Jing there, just a little bit off. That second shot does kick. Outlaw can be a bit of a mule.
OP! OP, guys!
Decent weaponry available for Paperrex, but this might catch him a little off guard. Oh my god, that util.
Okay.
scary.
Managed to evade all of it. But it's still enough information to know that primary forces of Paperrex are around the A site, so the go signal towards C. Forsaken has to stay tucked away. He's got some of these cages, he's got some trips, but is it going to be enough to deal with the full forces of T1? Saya with the blast pack peak, able to take him down. What? Something! Through the smoke! A bit of a skewer and two heads just get pierced. Now the three of them, remaining T1 players, pushing down into defender spawn. X-Curate's got the operator, able to make use of it. Trying to be vocal about what he needs. The rest of the team trying to come back into support, but Jing just with the patience to tap on the brakes a little bit. Hide inside of this dark cover provided by Mind Freak, and sticking the defuse all the way through. X-Curate has to peek out, but that's just a punishment. that your
dapat OP guys, dapat OP guys.
Paperrex takes you to school.
I told you
Bonus
all,
round
this is
collected.
defender.
I mean, I'm just.
Wah gila something keren
I'm
juga.
speechless. Sometimes I feel after I feel like I've seen it all with
Ya, udah
Paperrex.
bangun mereka guys.
Something does this.
Itu apa dapat 2 Jing?
Please explain. Please explain. Nice! It's unreal. A great post plant there from Mindfreak, holding in that smoke. And then when I think when X-Curate switched back over to the op, it might have given his position away just a little bit. The barrel on that thing's so long.
Yeah.
And it does cost them going into that early op. I mean, he found a good kill, but the rest of the team not really able to just. I mean, again, it's frankly kind of unfair what something did to them in that round.
It's just a little bit of unfortunate timing for T1, you know, and just great plays from something to go around the door at the right time. But whatever it is now, Prowler being spent to just deal with the tripwires. They know that Forsaken's right around the corner. Didn't quite expect him to peek out at that time, though. Takes down Carpe. A couple more players going his way. Izu with a Sheriff able to cut down Forsaken at his knees. And now it's down to the rest of Paperrex to try to recover from this initial assault.
Si ini belum ketahuan guys si.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, tries to peek out.
Great patience.
X-Curate still on the pin.
Ya!
Flank, able to catch on to Mindfreak. The rest of the players from Paperrex still up the front. Something with the operator trying to land a shot, but X-Curate already knows where to look. Jing, feeling a bit of the pressure, tries to hop away. Has the paint shells, he spends it. But the entire site engulfed in smoke. Izu with the stinger is the one who ends his life.
Unreal. Chaos. That's the best word to describe this. Chaos.
Kocak dah.
And that you wouldn't have any other way playing against Paperrex.
No kidding.
I mean, Forsaken loses that battle. Again, a few timing things just go the wrong way for Paperrex, and T1 is so quick to punish. X-Curate looking like his brother. Remember, his brother just running people over on the other side of the map, winning duels you don't think he's going to have any business winning. And he just does it right back to him.
For sure. I mean, he instantly knows, again, like, where to post himself up, where to mark these positions. He plays around the timing of the rotations, timing of the peaks from some of the opposing team's players. Another thing that I do want to point out is, interestingly enough, T1 has these setups on the C side where they make use of Rossi and
Paperrex without 3v, are you sure Cio nggak mungkin guys kasih 3v-nya emang.
Right next to Izu's dark cover, and it just provides that much more, you know, it's a lot more oppressive for a player like Jing to have to peek into them.
No doubt. You're absolutely right. That was a really rough spot for Jing. He's trying to do what he can to use his paint shells to clear that space that you're talking about, but it didn't really happen. Now you're going to have Odin, tour de force, showstopper for Jing.
The big guns.
ZOWIE has, okay, a Bulldog. I was like, ZOWIE, you got to buy there, my friend. And only a Stinger.
Well, if it's any consolation prize, most of the Paperrex players are 1 point away from their ultimates. Jing has his rocket. And is that enough? You know, you can't really just blind showstopper against a player like X-Curate.
Jing got tagged up a little bit by that Odin spam.
It's a bit of presence. They know that there's an Odin somewhere on the map. Something around Mound, being marked by Saya player of all things. There's that rocket. It's just trying to deter them from pushing further into the A site. Now that that rocket has been spent, the rest of Paperrex are thinking, let's rotate over to defend another part of the map. It's going to be that Boombot that gives something a bit of a tell, so he's able to punish Saya player. The op is now dropped.
Jing actually caught Carpe for quite a bit of damage on that showstopper. Only 25 HP left. No way to heal that up. Gonna have to try to bully your way through.
Dapat info.
Stairs though.
Yeah, ZOWIE's got to be so careful.
Izu's they're trying not to tell Paperrex what they're doing. Now that the dark cover comes up though.
Kalau si Dava ini mati sih dia.
Paperrex definitely aware.
Aduh.
Can't do that too often now, but ZOWIE peeks out at the right time. Slays 2, looks for the third.
Let's go, guys.
1, 2, and 3. The fourth for Jing. Paperrex 9-8.
Uncle ZOWIE
let's
getting
go.
it done there. Great timing. Look, he calls himself Uncle, so I'm allowed to as well. That's my logic there. I mean, this is just great timing from him to find this. You know, that's first of all a great shot from X-Curate, hitting the jiggle peeking something, and then the timing here to get 2 flashes immediately.
Jumps out.
Yeah, It's brilliant. It's a brilliant individual play from Divide that wins that round. That's, you know, he's been so good on Sky for so long. I love to watch him play it.
Kind of looks like Alex almost lost his
No way!
Wow. At least Mindfreak managed to take him out mid-air, but great opening from side player with the Rockets. Forsaken now peeks out off of it. Paperrex presses the go signal.
Jason, ngeri banget Jason,
the
bro.
Seekers. Forsaken, 2 kills from that Phantom. Execute, the only one left, comes back in to try to retrieve the spike, but he's got so many targets.
Nice, Jing.
There is that Jing movement. What a return.
Love it. It's just,
Let's go, 9 sama guys.
like coming back home to mom's cooking, man. You know, like
Santo brother on top, bro. Gila, bro ya.
Jing use that, land on a blast pack and then hit your head on a dime. Absolutely nuts. This push out on the back of these Seekers. I mean, this is what I love about
Itu baru aim-lab edging, bro.
Divide is on the Sky is the way they play off his utility. Saw it way earlier in this half when they pushed out from A and followed his Trailblazer. That time you saw it with Seekers. He's great at setting up his duelists with flashes, setting up himself with flashes. Just such a good Sky player is Divide.
Strong individual players all across, and yeah, everyone knows how to work off of it. This is why this team works so well. They've got the synergy, they've got the chemistry. Something still safe enough. The door swung open. Forsaken finds his own frag. Spike dropped, and it's T1, you know, not able to quite commit into this.
They're gonna have to change directions. I don't really think you want to mess with this C site, but
Sabar.
about waiting it out, seeing if they can get some rotates out of Paperrex. Paperrex, they can be a little bit antsy, but they can spread themselves a little bit thinner. They can put Jing over on B, keep Divide at A, just to keep eyes on it. But I think this is the right read here from T1 to try to go over towards A. You still have the from the shadows if things don't look great,
santai,
but
bro.
that's why I think part of the reason that Paperrex is spreading the map like they are, but some of that attention paid over there.
Dimasukin sih smoke-nya selalu deh, kenapa ya?
Fast kill onto something.
Great punish.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds now, they have to go in, but Mindfreak, he
Nah,
has to
ini
step
baru
up.
Aron,
He showed
guys.
what he's capable of in Madrid, and now he's coming back in.
Ini
to
baru
collect
Mindfreak ya guys ya.
3 more skulls.
Tenang menembak kepala orang
As
ya guys
T1
ya.
drops to the ground, it's 10-9 now. Paperrex have won
Temen banget
3
masuk
rounds
smoke,
in
coba
a row. The streak is starting to build.
Well, remember when I said I had the Paperrex script? They start slow, then they come back. It is the way of the Paperrex, my friend.
Dingin.
This is the way.
Ini udah panas sih guys, Paperrex guys, udah panas sih guys, aman guys.
It's just amazing. Now you got an outlaw here, knowing that it's going to be a weaker buy with the Blade Storms as well for something. Love this little cheeky purchase.
It's all across half armor. It's just such great game sense and awareness. The toxic screen, you know, might just give them a bit of leg room, but oh, there's that shot. Try stop draft
dari
away,
jauh
but
begitu
not too
kena
bad.
coba
With the
sih.
stinger, Carpe will be able to gun him down.
Face your fear!
Really?
Wow, committing into this. Side player down to 5 HP though. They have to be a little bit careful. At least the trails will alert them as to where some of these Paperrex players are positioned. But they had no idea. A couple more coming through the door. And that's going to be T1. Unfortunately, not quite able to secure it.
Let's go.
They had the Viper's Pit up and everything. You could see the idea that they wanted to go for, but fortunately,
Utara pindah ke Korea bang, gelo. Carul, makasih Carul ya.
Deal with this aggression from Paperrex.
Well, and I think that's part of what Paperrex is waiting for their timing on this retake flood.
Dingin.
They know who's planting it. They know what the idea is, and then there's that timing after he plants it where he has to throw the Viper's Pit down. That takes a couple seconds. That's a perfect opportunity to exploit the timing there. That's just brilliant. Actually, that's really smart from Paperrex, guys. I mean, that's not just random. That's like they knew what they were doing there.
We say that it's aggression, and yeah, it's
Saya player masih bawa meja itunya dia, Cok.
Already so cognizant and aware of what T1 are about to do. The Nightfall, I think, was the signal, and Mindfreak was just in position, waiting to strike when the iron is hot.
Arot kalau di VCT dingin banget, kalau di strip dong anjir kelakuannya. Emang iya, guys.
They've had some great rounds in this first half, but onto the attack. I mean, how do you deal with it?
Great question.
So far in the second half, they've only won one round, Paper Thin.
I think you got to start
Bang,
playing
lain
with the
coachnya 2,
map a
Paperrex
little
1
bit.
bang
I
ya.
think you
Itu
gotta
namanya solo leveling ya
Make
guys ya.
sure there's no early aggression. Set up for some early attempted picks on any Paperrex push outs, and then start working the map. You know, drift towards A, cut over through baby door towards B.
Trap gua, trap gua, trap gua.
Rotate back to
Trap
A.
gua, bro.
Keep Paperrex a little bit more off balance. Don't give them the
Gila, trap gua
opportunities
dipakai
to set
guys.
up for you.
Trap gua dipakai
Put you in their
guys.
crosshairs, to put you in their crossfires.
Can't just go in for the big cross, the big punches.
Somebody needs to be lurking
at least,
too.
Yeah,
That's the other thing.
defenses. I think we do have Excurate or Rossi on that job now.
Itu trap gua, lu liat stream gua
This
jing,
is
gua
what
sering
they
ke trap
need to do.
situ
This
jing.
is exactly what they need to do.
Good ideas from Coach Autumn, yes. Collecting the orb. Paperrex has no choice but to let them.
Ada di kitab tuh Bang Coy,
Now you
itu
put Saya player one away from a
itu
showstopper.
ini gua coy, ini
He's
trap
gonna
gua yang
be
udah
left
gua
as
buat.
the anchor over here to try to buy a little bit of attention.
Oh, ke A coy, ke A, retake nih guys.
He's looking for that pick. He would love to get that, and then he can maybe showstopper in and really sell this fake.
I'm thinking about beating the win. Alright, side player. Satchel's away. Paperrex hears it. They're reading the movements. Mindfreak instantly goes over onto Baby Door.
Di Lotus gua pakai Cypher toh sering, Cok.
Still a little bit worried about something with this judge. Oh, ooh, okay. Airstream's back in. Paper Thin, I am so nervous.
I can tell. It's okay.
Spike planted.
Susah banget nih guys. Susah banget nih retake-nya nih kayak gini nih.
Oh no!
Now you've got a lot of cover.
No. Oh my god. So lucky that showstopper.
Great mechanics to dodge it, but he knows he has to watch out for a Saya player still. T1 building up on this. Off of Autumn's strat calling. Carpe executing it. Everyone pushing up forward now. They have the sight.
Udah saving sih kalau kata gua. Bisa nih.
Slow and steady default into A, and it just works out well. Something, yeah. I mean, he's got the judge anyway, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Blaze Storm already pops. Might as well try to go for some kills, but T1, great adjustments coming through.
Aduh, Cok. Ayo, Cok. Bangun, Cok. Bangun, Cok. Jangan dikasih plan, bro.
Coach Autumn, I really highly rate him in the way that he works with this team, the way he gets them into the right places. Sometimes they kind of lose their heads a bit. And now he's like, wait a minute, guys. Hold on. We don't need to play into Paperrex's game. We don't need to be dragged down in the mud. You know, we need to kind of rise above it all, keep our feet dry, and play a little bit more of a consistent game. It works that time. Now, what's going to be the adjustment for Paperrex? Well, take a little bit of a space here. This isn't super unusual, obviously. Now, something with an operator getting this game
C-nya dihajar, guys.
a little tough. It's being accounted for in some respects by T1. You can see a few of their players in spawn sort of waiting this out. But how much further is something willing to go? Oh, yeah, Rossi.
Abis granat pasang trap.
Drops too.
Abis granat pasang trap. Itu.
Now you've got
Itu Jason bukan gua,
all
maksud
up
gua.
around C. Saya player just trying to do the same thing that he did before in case Paperrex pushes out. But nobody's found. Forsaken goes for a bit of stray. Tracer rounds spotted. And Paperrex knows.
Itu Jason, kenapa, Cok? Kenapa bukan gua, jing?
From Paperrex.
Ilmu Jason itu. Lempar bom dulu baru masang trap.
Pulled that trigger just a little bit sooner. He might have found one. Already seen a couple through the smokes. They got to work the map, but now Paperrex has planted their feet. They're not really biting on much. Divide gonna get this kill.
Nice, bye.
I mean, he's trying to work the map, but Carpe is just exploring it on his own. They know that they are running out of options. Don't want to go to A because the operator's there. B has been blocked off. No choice but to barrel through into C, but that's where Forsaken is. Extra, good shots. But when it comes down to it, running out of space, running out of time, Izu
Nice, Jing. Nice,
tries
Jing.
to
Nice,
thread the
Jing.
needle, but Jing catches him instead. It's 12-10 now.
Yeah, and
Ilmu yang gue pelajari adalah emosi,
counter
Bang.
moves here from Paperrex where they're just like, wait.
Oke, beberapa
Play a little bit more
miskin. Let's
patient,
go.
Our information game in
Closing
check.
map
Let's
1
make
nggak
sure
sih?
we have all of our
Tutukan
bases covered.
Lotus.
Don't give them the ability to over-rotate. That's part of why they push A early there. So they have that information. So they know that they don't have to commit to anything else. And they can hang on. And you get that pick under Rossi. You know he's probably going to be on the edge. So you know you can stay at C. The change up in the tripwires there for Forsaken also very good.
Guys, kalau misalnya berak guys, kita kan mau berak ya, kita kan kebelet ya.
Okay.
It's a lot of those
Terus
little
berak
things.
kan guys.
Precisely like you said, but right now T1
kiri nggak
going
kelihatan.
back to those lurks that we wanted to see from Excure before. Operator versus operator. Well, not an operator this time. But nonetheless, a bit of a lurk. T1 trying to work the map.
Bisa kita kan nahan berak ya guys ya.
They've done a good job of keeping
Kita nahan berak guys.
something
Terus
off
pas
balance
kita
with that
berak itu
operator for
guys.
the most part. Other than that previous
Tiba-tiba
round.
di kolong celananya ada bekas noda kecil gitu, itu apa namanya apa guys?
Chamber utility.
Apa pick apa itu
He's
anjing?
just gonna hold the angle, and so you know it's not Beast. You can kind of put 2-2, right? You know it's not gonna be coming Beast. You can hold 2A, 2C, or wherever you feel like they're gonna go. In fact, they're making a great read here. Jing already making his way over to A.
Paperrex just really controlling the map. But how can
Thank you,
T1
Charul
really
ya, makasih
work their way
Charul ya.
around this? They don't want to explore B all too much. Now kind of planted their feet firmly in the sand for A site. You need those protocols to carefully clear and check every single one of these bounds. First of all, tree going through. Paranoid's been sent out.
Dapat 2.
Trades coming in, but look at
Let's
the
go.
number of reinforcements that Paperrex has. Divide and Jing back in action.
Gue
Paperrex
cuma
ends out
nanya
the
anjing
first
kenapa lu
map. This
kenapa
was
tadi lu
T1's map
kenapa lu
pick.
hina
Paperrex
gua? Tadi lu
shows
spirit ya, Bang.
exactly
Gue cuma nanya itu artinya
how
apa.
strong they are.
What do you do against this team, man? Well, they're so challenging to play against. Even when you feel like you've got them on the ropes, that you've got the read on them, they just can flip a switch, and they are a different team in a heartbeat. You see it time and time again. Go back and look at a bunch of Paperrex games and look at their first maps, and look at how they start. So many times they're down
Charul,
pretty
welcome to
heavily
Kasoku,
early,
Charul.
and then just something, not the player, but the ideas in their head.
Main Lotus menang
Change,
iya guys.
and they just turn it on.
Kayak kita latihan nggak sih guys, latihan M guys. Jadi gue tuh kalau latihan M ini guys ya. Gue tuh kesini guys ya. Kita main daily ini ya, main apa sih? Fundamental M training namanya guys ya. M Labs training. Oke, kita buka M Lab dulu guys, sabar. Sambil nunggu guys, bisa guys. Oke. Dukun hilang, dukun apa, Cok? Berak, gue udah berak tadi anjing. Ini kalau gue latihan tiap hari gini guys ya. Yang rutin lo apa bang ini guys? Gue mau kasih lihat guys. Jadi kalau misalnya satu hari itu gue biasanya nah, ini kan. Oke. Dibuka aimlab-nya. Nah, jadi kalau fundamental ini guys adalah kita bermain ada rutin M-nya tergantung bukan rank ya. Ini iron ini guys ada benchmark-nya guys. Benchmark-nya itu sini guys. Gue udah pernah benchmark soalnya. Kan gue kan vault gue kan M vault ya. Gue Rioja. Nama nickname gue ini guys. Nah, gue itu udah sampai ke gold. Nah, gue udah gold kan. Gue udah gold guys ya. Gue udah benchmark dan gue dapetnya gold guys. Kalau gue gold berarti gue akan bermain yang gold ya kan. Bronze, silver, gold. Nah ini gold. Kita pilih aja guys. Terus langsung otomatis kebuka guys M-Lab-nya nih. Itu guys. Gampang cok. Ntar playlistnya langsung kebuka guys. Itu kalau buat latihan M guys ya. Sabar ya, tungguin. Ntar dia autoplay dia. Ntar dia autoplay guys. Terlihat banget bang. Iya tapi gue lagi latihan M beneran cok. Sehari sekali. 1-2 jam aja kalau gue. Tungguin. Ntar dia autoplay guys. Tapi emang agak lama ya. Kok lama ya? Guys cepet cok. Aku mau PDF-nya itu kamu buka aja dari M-Lab dari Voltaic cok. Itu dari grup M-nya. Kok lama ya cok anjing? Dia cepet nih. Nggak scam guys. Buka lagi lah, kayak ngebug cok. Kayak ngebug kali guys. Dia tuh auto buka, kita langsung buka guys. Apa nggak mau ya? Biasa dia, nah tuh kayak gitu guys, dia auto play. Nah, latihannya itu banyak guys, ada berapa course. Kayak gini kan gue pusing nih. Nah ini namanya latihan apa sih bilangnya? Izin serius bro, izin serius. Gila banget anjing, mata gue sakit. Digocek gue bangsat. Digocek gue anjing. Nah gitu guys ya. Nah tuh. High score gue 440 guys. Jadi gue itu barusan gue udah melewati high score gue biasa guys ya. Ya. Gue udah melewati high score gue. Nih guys. Ada berapa lah guys ya. Satu playlist ada 60 biji begini guys. 60 biji beginian. Tapi beda-beda. Ya. Kayak kalau play guys. Kayak satu begini tuh kurang lebih 2-2 deh. Gue udah melewati. Ini gue cok. Kayak juga gue. Gara-gara Paperrex-nya ditambah jauh kagak guys. Dikira gampang kali. Coba ya kalian coba sendiri anjing. Dikira gampang kali begini anjing. Susah anjing. Lihat tuh. Udah kecil begitu tuh. Lihat lu harus ngikutin coy. Harus ditekan tembakannya. Dia udah digocek lagi gua bangsat. Aduh pusing nih, anjing, izin serius bro. Anjing gue digocek bangsat. Soloin. Ini kalau Jason begini gimana ya sama anjing? Anjing gue digocek! Nah kan lebih turun kan tadi guys, nggak apa-apa guys. Nah nih kita next terus guys, semenit. Nah ini apa lagi nih guys, lihat guys, ini lebih susah lagi nih kayak biasa nih. Anjing nih yang begini cok. Mampus loh, puter tuh mouse-nya anjing. Ikutin tuh loh. Ini melatih refleks cok sama tracking. Izin serius bro, izin serius. Ini gue tiap hari begini guys. Tapi ya gue nggak semua full course doang. Kadang gue kalau lagi capek gue nggak full course, capek. Kalau lagi kurang tidur. Coba ikutin kalau lu bisa anjing, susah cok semua ikutin nih. Tuh, gue nggak nyampe high score gue cok. Tuh baru 3 udah kelar, baru 3 kali udah pegel aja anjing. Kalau udah mau mulai bilang guys ya. Ini masih tracking nih guys. Dia tuh latihannya kayak pertama tuh tracking dulu deh. Ntar baru switching. Ntar baru clicking. Aduh anjing, bangsat. Pegel anjing, coba bangsat. Sabar guys, izin serius guys. Gue gak bisa baca chat, pasti chat. Mata gue di situ cok. Nah gitu guys ya. Ini gratis gak bayar cok. Ini lebih burik lagi dari tadi, lebih burik lagi, bro. Anjing 3 kali, Jing. Udah pegel bangsat. Lanjut lagi begininya, anjing. Gue paling benci sebenarnya guys, yang ini guys. Soalnya pegel yang ini. Ngabisin mouse. Ngabisin tenaga gerak-gerakin mouse tuh anjing ini, yang ini. Oh ini bagus sih, gue guys. Ini gue bagus ya kalau hit kayak gitu terus kayak gerrrrt, itu bagus berarti guys. Gue hit terus. Agak pelan enak, agak pelan cok. Apalagi kalau lu low sense guys ya, kalau low sense sih gila sih bro. Pegel bro. Udah mau mulai belum guys? Udah mulai. Oke. Anjing high score. Udah.
Thank you very much, Chubby Ninja, Achilles, and Asteroid. And Achilles just predicts the agent composition. The agent picks to perfection. I mean,
let's go!
This is exactly what we have. And Victoria's right, too. The Battle of the Brothers on the harbor.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Harbor
I've always been a big
Susanto,
fan of
guys!
Forsaken on the harbor. I love the way he plays it. He's very creative with the way he uses his
Harbor
cascades and high tides
Susanto,
in
guys,
particular.
ya.
We'll just
Mengeri.
some of those scopes, but overall, I think he's really tricky to deal with because he almost plays it more like a duelist. Sometimes he can use those cascades to set himself up to kind of cut apart one player from the rest of his team and get a kill and then back out. See if he's going to do that off this contact, but the early mosh, it's just a touch of damage. He's going to have to run, head for the hills, my friend.
Oh, he can't really make it. Wait, what? He flicked upwards, got a headshot on the Saya player? Wow. Whatever it is, not quite able to put out any high tides.
Kenapa something camnya Izu?
For Paperrex now. They've got some of these pistols, they've got some of these flashes, and that's a great initiating utility to make their way onto site. Gonna be blocked off by the early cascade though. Excurrent having a different playstyle from his brother Forsaken, but how is that playstyle gonna work out against a player just as aggressive? The entire team, something, Jing, everyone's flooding in through the floodgates.
Anjing something kenceng banget cok.
Oh, that was so close, dude. That was so close. Thought for a second there Izu might be able to buy enough time to get that round over. But I like the way Paperrex plays this because Forsaken does a great job here buying at least what time he can. I mean, this shot onto Saya is just at the as the Dizzy was wearing off. Still nasty, that flick. But the way that they flood back through short, through market, and then they just come on through.
Nyala something guys. Kayaknya sih feeling gue sih ini mapnya Paperrex banget guys. Kalau Paperrex gak banyak buat salah udah pasti menang gampang sih guys. Paperrex semangat, Paperrex semangat, Paperrex semangat, Paperrex semangat.
There's no time to breathe for T1. I mean, full confidence from Paperrex, and they just keep going for it. And right now, Jing back in with that outlaw. There's a bit of a pause on
itu udah gak pernah Paperrex lagi ya? Gue gak tahu sih guys, gue tanya dulu deh. Gue gak tahu, jujur gak tahu.
Just a bit of foresight into what could happen in the next round. Once again, you always need to watch out for the outlaw. Jing's already marking A short.
Yeah, and it looks like it's a bit of a showers play.
Kenapa lagi si Anji? Masalah terus Anji.
Doing up with Mayan Freak actually. Try to control that space. Curious to see how that util is gonna stack up if that's what they go for during our classic short exercise this time. Very short. Everybody very happy.
Awesome. Good job, Paperthin. You pressed the right button.
I did. We're no longer
Pacific. Jing harus mundur, Cok. Mundur, Jing.
All right, a bit of a sky smoke, but it's that toxic screen that allows them to walk straight through lamps, along with Poison Cloud. A bit of a hop over. But Jing has the right positions to play along with Paint Shells and the Outlaw. So it's over the Classic. Collects onto the triple kill. A bit of a rampage and a tear for Paperrex. Making it clean, sustaining minimal damage. Only Mind Freak dropped as they head over into the third round.
I mean, the pace at which Jing can play the game is outrageous. The way he handles that tough situation is truly impressive.
Okay, nice.
With an Outlaw as a raise, you know, he's so fast to react here. Knows there's another one coming, so he holds the angle, expecting this flood. It's all classics usually, you know, that you're going up against. So he has the wherewithal to realize that.
Doesn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need to.
An escape route that he's already planned.
And he's
Dua Melis menyala abangku.
light years ahead of you.
Still just that Raze player, precisely.
Right there.
So as we head on over into the next round now, we've got the full buy coming through. A good little bit of harbor utility. Trying to peek out alongside the flash, trying to play along with the timing of it, but T1 a little bit more prepared.
Yeah, I like the way they try that, using that cove to cut off that far left-hand angle from their perspective to try to isolate a player. It almost works for Divide. They got weaker guns, trying to see if they can at least get even trades out of it. But yeah, T1 not fooled.
And because they have the numbers, they can afford to leave Rossi on a bit of a lurk around Fountain. Got something right up around Hookah. It's a bit more of a save round for Paperrex right now, but clean shot nonetheless, and they might be able to rob some guns away from T1. Since it is the third, why not? You might as well go in for it. Just trying to be a little bit careful, a little bit safer.
Punish them.
Yeah, try to keep them punished, try to keep them around the spike. Hopped on over, took down Carpe. Make it expensive for T1 as they head on over into round number 4.
Mahal guys, Ikorot mahal ya guys ya.
Only Rossi survives.
Kok Jing ada lagi, bahkan udah balik Jing guys.
Spectres and Bulldogs in the next round. No, they can half armor it.
Yeah. And it's going to be the op for something now in the arena, but great reaction from Saya and Carpe. Still a great round here. You know, once something gets up into Hookah, not only does he get a kill, but then he knows he's got him stuck in tube, so he can play time. He knows that he can do a lot of damage there, and maybe even get him stuck on the spike explosion. Really smart stuff from him. And it's just Paperrex, so even on the rounds you win, it doesn't feel great.
Trying to go in for a hitter against that poison cloud.
What?
Forsaken with the timing on it. Oh my goodness! Off the sky smoke. He just goes in for the hat trick again and again. How many multi-kills have we seen today from him?
A lot. A lot. And he's so confident in it. Once he gets one, it feels like he's guaranteed to get at least one or more.
What the hell is that, bro?
We've seen it so many times already today. He's so crisp with that Vandal.
Daylight robbery. T1 had a game plan.
Ada orang nembak bisa begitu ya?
Now they can no longer execute it.
Smoker, padahal smoker dia smoker, guys.
Not a lot of fun.
Bisa begitu smoker, Jing.
Thinking like Carpe had his thrash, he might do something with it. Now he's gone.
The best laid plans often don't come to fruition. And now you've got the operator in elbow, you've got Divide, he's going to get the info. So they know at least one of the remaining two is here, and they can just kind of wait this out a little bit. Going to try to use the high tide to cut the site in half, but little do they know that there's a player. For sure. Not enough time to do anything else. I guess you could TP, but I don't think you can get the plant down at this point. I think they're just saving.
10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense with the economy.
Trying to play it safe, trying to stay hidden. But
makanya Clove cocok buat Jason, Bang. Makanya Clove ini keluar pasti dipakai Jason sih menurut gua, dua duelis. Dua smoker guys ya, Viper sama ini.
3 kills. T1's plans completely foiled.
Well, one of those was through smokes.
Yeah.
The first one was just him anticipating that somebody was holding that angle. Oh my god. Oh my. And he saw the player with the head peeking out of the box. The smoke comes down and he still knows exactly where to place his crosshair. That's what we can talk about. How insane his crosshair placement is. Ridiculous.
Truly one of the best.
Gila. Hero baru katanya week 3 guys. Kalau kata Tarik sih week 3 ya.
100%.
So with the ultimates available now, something just goes back into Rob even more away from T1. Pretty soon T1's going to have to call in a timeout or something.
Yep.
They're losing confidence and not quite able to execute their plans any longer. Rossi might have the toxic screen up. They might be able to send out a bit of a trailblazer, but how do you collect on that space? Well, the answer is going to be Saya player with the blast packs through. A bit of a frenzy. Needs to pick up a weapon.
Look at the anti-flash.
But yeah, Mindfreak just turns away. Counter flash coming in now from Divine, and it's just the execution from Jing and Forsaken. The nice. Is back.
And a lot of
Kenapa
this is off the back
jedanya gitu bang? Jadi
Paperrex
guys,
showing you different
setiap
looks every
turnamen
round. It's
teman-teman,
somebody different pushing from
itu
a
pasti
different
ada
angle. This
kayak
time
beberapa
something
minimal itu
takes
misalnya
a
1
quick
bulan
peek
dari
out.
rilis agent misalnya guys ya,
Divine
1 atau 2
he
bulan.
hasn't done that yet.
Berarti
And
setelah
they're
rilis
showing
agent
you
2
so
bulan
many
itu baru bisa
different-
dipakai. Kenapa? Karena patch-nya itu buat prepare orang-orang pro itu biar nggak kalau misalnya lu rilisnya kemarin tiba-tiba di next di besok kan dipakai itu kan nggak mungkin guys. Kayak beda gitu. Mereka udah latihan selama sebulan pakai agent yang lama, tiba-tiba keluar agent baru gitu. Terus juga apa? ML juga gitu guys. Tapi juga balik lagi bukan soal itu doang guys. Kalau misalnya ada agent baru itu dites dulu guys selama 2 bulan tuh ada bug nggak?
Oh, setting up for Jing, trying to catch him.
Ya Roja anjir.
That's a good old Jing also.
Jangan sampai dia
well,
tuh.
you know, they're trying to catch him pushing off the back of that Sky util.
Ya, whiff
But
Jing,
Izu,
Cok.
patient, gonna take Jing down.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
Needing to exercise that patience. Going off of it. Oh, good little bit of movement. Divine deals with it so quickly. Accurate. Although he gets the trade, it's a lot of punish. 5 HP left. Numbers not exactly favoring.
Dicek apakah agentnya ada bug atau enggak gitu-gitu loh.
3 on 3. Apart from that though, Mindfreak.
Look, they're in there.
3 lawan 3, sepertinya low banget. 1 SP bro.
Not connecting on anybody. They can just wait this out. Something.
He's got the Empress as well.
Planted.
Looking for the opportunity.
With an op too, I mean this is just great.
Ya, nah pakai op, Cok.
Wins though.
Remaining.
Carpe now capturing onto Forsaken. Perfect stuff. You've got the Viper's Pit up and T1 looking to secure the entire site. Great times Dizzy by Carpe, tossed right up in the Obian air. And it's going to be Mindfreak who gets spotted out. He knows he can't quite walk out of Garden for free.
Diambil OP-nya ya.
Just looking to do what damage he can. He's going to use the TP for the safety.
He's got enough to buy up for a teammate in the next round.
Yes. I thought maybe he might just go for
Kalau
it.
pakai OP menang tuh guys si something.
Get the ult, but probably the better play here.
So that's it.
Sayang.
Great round from T1.
Yeah, no. This is a breath of fresh air for T1 and our sold out crowd, giving them a round
Lu jangan
of
OP lah
applause,
something.
trying to get their team back in the game. The patience there, this time anticipating the continued aggression from Paperrex. You know, we've seen them push down a lot of different angles early in the round to try to find those picks, and this time they go for long B, and T1 finally downloads the script.
The frag onto something as well.
Yep.
Just an another word in that chapter.
Next round though, balik mang itu baliknya tuh bukan jadi player guys, jadi stream, jadi watch party gitu guys.
Blindly rushing the hookah. Jing looking to peek out though. A bit of an off timing, but off swings too. Excurrent able to flick back around 90 degrees, takes down Jing's head. Something off of the other side with the operator still. Knows not to overpeak too much this time, but you've got that guiding light, you've got the Trailblazer. It's a little bit annoying and he has to B-hop away.
He's pretty lucky there. As a Reyna, you don't have the escape tool unless you get the kill. And
ya udah mati sih.
Barely gets out. Mindfreak, how?
Jeez. Not quite sure.
Playing good right now. He's smart.
Reading the game, reading the timings of it, sense that there were players up around B, given the information on something, so he just calls for the right time to push out, and now reaggressing back into A. Paperrex is aware of it, but the orbital strike, it's not quite connecting. T1 manages to stick the spike plant, and now Saya player marking all of these corners. T1 going in with the rockets too, just to secure the round. Something's gonna try to make something happen. Turn things back around.
Something Cok, susah dia OP.
Operator. He's gonna have to isolate the duels. He's gonna have to do it as carefully as he can. Wow. Great punch into Excurrent. Goes in for the spike tap. There's no idea that Izu is right back around the corner through showers.
Smart wrap.
Turns back around now, but yeah, no time, not safe enough. Operator too valuable.
Smart wrap here by Izu. Don't want to play that longer angle to give that operator a chance. Try to catch him a little off guard. So if he does come back and tap again, you're able to swing out quick from showers. Really smart.
He's just a rookie, and you know that's why he's been picked up. He's got these strong fundamentals, good IQ, good ability to pull some rounds back into T1's favor. Just needs a little bit more of that, even though you don't always see like crazy impactful kills.
Yeah, but it's good cover fire there as well. Whole team really working together as a unit. T1, Saya player still with an op. The Guardian gonna be the cut fun. Paperrex. So now T1 is starting to really kind of understand the aggressive nature of Paperrex on their defender side, able to continue to weather these storms. Diligent with the utility is Izu, making sure that Hookah's clear. They're gonna send a Cascade up there, make sure that it's a little bit more difficult for somebody to re-aggress into that angle. They're going to see it. Wasn't able to be cleared in time, so they know the op's here. And they're immediately going to rethink this hit. They're going to have to use the high tide to cut it off if they're going to push B.
Interestingly, though, also the Trailblazer committed outside of Hookah just to check if they are, looking to re-aggress outside of Hookah, or maybe try to catch them off of rotations. Regardless, it is still the call that it's very likely for T1 to push back into A. Paperrex prepared for this hit now. High tide sent over onto B just for added security. Players has been spotted, Cascade sent out. T1 looking to initiate off of some of these flashes. Paperrex trying to reposition themselves back over onto triple, but unfortunately it's a little bit open. Rossi and X are able to punch them down. Something swaps over onto the shorty, able to connect, hops on over, tries to spot out ahead, but not quite able to find all too much just yet. Pate shells right under his nose. Divine watching his corner. He pushes past the snake bite, trying to find a shot with his operator still. A bit of movement and accuracy, hops over onto a different weapon, but Saya player.
Udah jangan pakai OP something susah. Temen lu kasihan, cowok.
Raining from above.
Retake-nya susah banget, Jing.
High tide just blocks off way too much, and Lamps is
open.
Extra comes back in to stab him in the back of his neck. It's going to be 4-4 as T1 equalizes.
This is a pretty good read by Paperrex in terms of them being on the right side of the map, anticipating this hit.
30 seconds left.
But some of these plays just a little bit better. Something getting a little bit over ambitious. Should have just stuck with the op, but thought about the shorty, then it felt a little bit too far for that. He saw a gun on the ground, thought he could switch to it in time. Kind of overthought that situation just a little bit. And T1 is starting to get this groove going where they can just
agak susah sih menurut lo guys. Jadi kayak tim fight-nya beda loh guys. Si Something kan kayaknya OP hati-hati dia. Teman-temannya tuh pengen ngeras gag gitu coy, tapi nggak bisa.
Felt like if he had like stepped
out
like
bagus banget bantai-bantai, jadi kayak kalah gini guys, keterlaluan.
He might have been able to find one on the entry, but then a dizzy comes through and that
menurut gua sih nggak efektif aja OP-nya guys, walaupun nge-kill ya.
Just off a little bit of utility and some good timing, they've got a site open for themselves as T1, and they're able to take full advantage of it. Once they get to that post plant, they're pretty solid. They've been looking pretty good.
And now starting to tighten up these protocols and strategies into taking up more space as well. I mean, it's very crucial that T1 repeatedly heads up B long, forcing Paperrex to spend a bit more utility just to check or just to invest some players into holding that area. Now that they've done that for the past several rounds now, off of the timeout, it's a sudden decision to swap sides over onto A. T1 might be able to surprise Forsaken here.
Yeah, certainly. This is going to look like that pistol round where Forsaken is all on his own against the full force of T1. That worked out pretty well for Paperrex, though, because they're able to push really deep. No contact going to be found here by Fountain.
Okay, quick rotations.
They're going to cut through the teleporter.
Are they waiting? No.
They're waiting for contact from Forsaken, and they're going to cut through the teleporter.
Okay, the Trailblazer just spotted everything. All right.
They backed off. Oh, okay.
That made you and me so nervous.
Rush is ready.
If they went through that teleporter, oh my God, Paper Thin.
Well, I hope that they were going to wait until like T1 was actually on the site. Okay. Look at, they've already rotated over them.
Pro players. Got showers now.
Ooh, nice.
Taking down short. Divide, just a blind spray, able to take down side player. No entries found. Carpe able to push up off of some utility.
Nice fight.
Hits, lines up, and he's still able to take down onto a second. Divine has to trade. Off of the, making use of the cascade, sneak down into the corner. Divine finds one more. He's gotten a triple. Something coming up from the other side.
One enemy
Spike
remaining.
slowly ticking away, but Divine able to shut down yet another position. Here comes something.
Pakai Vandal menang kan? Udah Vandal aja guys.
About it, but I hear the crowd going ace, ace, ace.
You know what was funny was I was watching Divai on the camera just to see his reaction, and he just kind of went,
What is going on?
Divai is playing really well off the utility of his teammates and the movement. Like Jing opens up that third kill onto U-Haul.
Truthfully, cerebral play. That cascade that he made use of to sneak up behind the T1 player.
Yes, and that let Jing blast back ahead of him to open up that angle, so he was there for the trade. That's really smart stuff, using your opponent's utility against him.
Oke, aman guys.
Nice one away from a
OP lagi saya player Jing.
A lot of them close to ultimates, even more so on the Paperrex side. Now going back into investigate into this area. So many flashes being tossed out. It's a good textbook Paperrex style strategy, but unfortunately the flashes do not favor them this time. They've lost out in this firefight.
The real question is, did Jing get spotted tucking in this corner?
Still trying to make use of it all. A little bit nervous because of the mosh pit, but still able to recover nonetheless. Able to take down Excurate.
Wah gila cuy anjing.
Now, Paperrex having recovered, Carpe down at 5 HP. It's going to be Saya player with the op that brings them back into the equation.
Hey, he had a great little round there. Holding things nicely. Can Forsaken do anything about this?
Swings out wide in the open.
Spike down.
Roxy was meant to cover, but unfortunately sidestepped at the wrong time. He was trying to peek for info. So now using the Cove just to mark that spike. High tide to block off even more space.
Oh, but Saya knows. He's anticipating this wrap.
Gotta watch out for that op. Forsaken should know. Trigger discipline lets him pass for 1 second. He comes back in just to isolate the duel. Reckoning being sent out. Senses that Saya player is not exactly right around the spike. But wow, picked it up at the right time. He hops on over. Saya player might just be able to make it happen.
Nice, Jason!
Quicker on the draw through the teleporter. Shoots him back in the head.
Oke, lo cok.
But wasn't
dikasih
quick
OP cok, something cok. Something dikasih OP
moments
No!
for both sides.
It's another huge multi-kill round for Forsaken today. I mean, Divai did it previously. Wow, Divai actually getting up close and personal with T1 on that push out. What a timing there, right as that spike was. I know, he's just got this internal sense. He just knows right when he can punish you. Right as Rossi was looking away is when he swung.
Oke, kita guys, kita percaya sama something ya. OP something dapat satu, terus kabur menang. Oke, ini timing yang bagus.
T1 now trying a different game plan just to take down Hookah. They went B long several times in the past now. There's a little bit of a switch up around to A. Hookah definitely surprising something. The op shot whiffs, trying to reposition. Goes in for the Shari and also the dismiss. Divai here to back him up. A double spray. Carpe with the stinger just to trade. Saya player finding one of his own now too, but something has gotten away with his life. Jing now with the outlaw. It's a bit of that half-buy strat from T1, and Carpe tries his darndest to make it work. Oh my God! Around at the right time. Still able to recover. Recollection. T1 in the game.
Round in the half.
Carpe, absolutely incredible play there with the stinger. And then gets the thrash to get the detain. And almost doesn't react in time to where the player actually was.
Udah 2-3 kali miss terus masih dipakai guys OP-nya guys.
It was to spawn.
It's just so intense. It's
Jadi
so
kalah
fast
terus
and
cuy 3 round
furious.
anjing, udah pakai OP kalah guys.
You know, you're just kind of...
Hop, hop, hop. No, he's not in this corner.
Oh my God.
And that was that sort of an eco round play from T1.
Yes. But it's again because something just can't quite get that opening. What the heck happened here?
A showstopper kill from Jing, a double, but T1 continues to press forward. They've managed to capitalize and trade off against three more players from Paperrex.
Gimana sih tiba-tiba main begini?
Down in the last round of the first half. It comes down, it falls onto Divai and Something's shoulders to save it. Paperrex so far having a great lead, but T1 pushing the pressure on towards Paperrex. Great angle, but wow. Awareness from Something to check. Sharper mechanics just to stop it fire accurately. He's gotten the Empress as he's going forward even further. Taps onto the spike, anticipates the Showers play. T1 not there, not near Showers to be found. Actually, it's around short, around truck. and playing together, making use of the spikes timing. Xkieran and Izu equalize the score. We end the first half 6-6.
It's just the pace of play is just so insane. And I love that T1 turned it up with those stingers on to get that thrifty round win. But again, the early op miss 2 rounds ago, because we didn't get to talk about it because the next round just kicked off so quickly. That early op miss hurt so much. There are just so many targets.
Ini harusnya bisa 8-4 sih guys.
Kind of second guess where he was going to be able to aim.
OP-nya tuh nggak dipakai atau nggak kena gitu ya.
For this player, wait, there's so many, and then that causes your brain to
timingnya udah oke guys, cuma nggak ada yang kena OP-nya bro.
So you get that mirror image stuff going on, and that hurts because then he doesn't find that opening kill, and that gives them the ability to get in there and get space so much easier. 2 rounds ago, this previous round, I don't know.
Kalau Jet nggak apa-apa sih guys. Kalau Reyna tuh kayaknya nggak enak banget tuh pakai
before
OP.
we even saw what happened. So.
Masih guys.
Got knocked in for a bit of a loop, but definitely by the Paperrex bundle, then the desk will survive.
I'm not sure that's helping. They're already winning the bundle battle in Pacific.
Not saving the desk, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure the desk is receiving the benefits.
All right, 6-6. T1 now swapped over onto the defense side. We've seen these great ideas as to how they can retake space, how they can hold spikes post-plant. Paperrex needing to recover. I mean, you talked about the op shots, you talked about some of the timings. And Paperrex has are needing to win more pistol rounds.
Yeah, and I think in general just...
Kayak Taker guys. Dua-duanya Taker sih bisa sih.
A little bit off kilter still. There still isn't quite that same cohesion with Jing and some of the other players that you're used to just yet. I mean, that being said, you're still seeing some pretty good stuff. T1 is really doing their damnedest to stay in this, and I'm really impressed with the way that T1's been playing.
Look at the set plan with the high tide, covering all exits of the smoke. The Wallace falls. Curtains dropped and now Defy able to be
Nice.
But as soon as the rest of the T1 players continue to peek out trying to trade, lo and behold, 3 more Paperrex players are on the other side. Along with some of these frenzies, Forsaken captures the kills, and they want to press forward into the B site. They've got a full minute to work with though, so no real need to commit to it unless they spot more. Using the boombot now, but Saya player lands a great shot. Jing recovering off of it. Rossi trying to do what he can too, but Jing
what the fuck, menang bro?
just that much sharper.
Menang Jing!
I mean, this push out
padahal udah kayak kemungkinan kalah sih tuh.
For T1
Udah dibaca, bro.
almost works. That high tide to try to obscure it, but that gave Paperrex enough time to set up.
Aneh banget.
Kind of that crossfire
OP
from
guys,
Fountain and
OP
from
sama
Market.
Reyna OP udah guys nih guys.
Finish the job. It almost worked for T1. And Saya doing what he can, just cannot quite find the shot in time, and Jing hasn't lost his mechanics. That is one thing you know, that Jing hasn't stopped playing ranked, that's for sure.
That is where he, got picked up and joined pro play. That's it. T1 making use of the same strategy. It is pistol after all for them.
Flange
Trying
bro.
to do what they can, but Paperrex completely evading it. Forsaken very aware of what they're about to pull off.
What's that high tide again? I mean,
I'm checking the check. Little spray.
Oh, nice.
Udah rugi 10.000. Forsaken namanya sama kayak pro player yang ketahuan cheat di turnamen CSGO.
Forsaken with the sprays. Saya player through the backside, able to find
Nice,
one.
Jason. Nice, ya emang mirip guys namanya, tapi Forsaken yang itu nge-cheat, yang ini nggak nge-cheat bro, ini emang
1
jago.
point away from the reckoning now, and into round 3 too.
Genuinely curious. How many multi-kill rounds Forsaken has so far?
Now please find out.
Well, I can tell you how many he had
Dapat 4
on
loh
the
Jason.
first map.
Ini di Korea kah? Betul. Anjing Forsaken tiba-tiba top rank guys.
He had, well, it was actually not as many as you would think. It was 3. 1 2K, 1 4K in the ace on Lotus.
Pretty good number.
But he's had like 2 or 3 on this map too. Like a 3K, another 4K right there. Absolutely bonkers.
Having a good day. I mean, Paperrex filled with confidence as they peek out into a lot of these. It is
Udah nggak usah pakai
Up against the
sniper
full
deh
buy
bang.
round, and something
Bang jangan
still
pakai
goes in
sniper
for such a
bang,
courageous
bang. Miss
Unfortunately,
dulunya
shut down by
bang.
Rossi though, and T1 looking to control things a lot better this time on both extremities of the map. They've got guarded, they've got showers. Now sensing that the hit is towards B, tucked away in the corner. Great readjustment on the crosshair for Execute. Jing though, still with a movement and a Spectre. Picks up the rifle now. Goes in for the spike plant.
Full upgrades for him and Devi. Still 2 guiding lights plus the paint shells.
T1 just taking a breather for this. Carpe has a prime position to set up
11 peluru
a bit
doang
of a
cok
flank.
anjing. Oh dari
I
luar.
think pretty aware. I checked it, but timing might just be a little funky.
Snake bite, just to check a little corner. Nothing much spotted. Guiding light spent, and that's going to be Carpe finding him from behind. Can Jing pull Paperrex out of this sticky situation? Nice little side swerve movement from Saya player. Jing's not quite able to connect the shot. Saya player putting T1 back into the game.
Ayo guys, ayo Samti pakai Vandal, Vandal lu keri bro.
Great start.
Pakai OP tolonglah.
Yeah, and
tolonglah OP mahal
Saya player
something.
really close to his showstopper. Hey, really good stuff from T1 in this round. I mean, Rossi with the opener, X-Curate, phenomenal double. What a readjust back on a Mind Freak. Carpe finds the good timing.
Guys, good retake.
Saya player.
Good fucking retake.
It was a good retake. He tried.
It was. They had a great anchor as well. I think Paperrex definitely going to adjust to how
Oke, nggak OP
they
guys,
might
nggak
want
OP
to
guys. Tapi
waterfall
Jason punya ulti kok
afterwards.
enak nih.
Yep, Jing
Base
went away from the
harusnya
showstopper, so let's see if the Showers plays to set him up, get the orb. Forsaken already has a Reckoning. So this is tricky for Forsaken though. Now they're pushing out, they're not using the high tide the same way they have before, so it's a different look on a push. See if Forsaken can read it. They're gonna go all the way to spawn. Forsaken's in trouble. Trying to lurk.
Aduh, kenapa sih nggak
That's
bareng
what
temennya,
T1
Cok?
does, you know, with the way that the game is shaping up. Starting things off, you've had that B outside
Saya.
anchor control.
He slipped the net, I think.
Perfect. Still very much hidden inside that corner. Jing now trying to recapture in towards Showers, using the blast pack to satchel away, but Exker comes back through. Paperrex needing to try to get control over a site real quick. They've got the spike. They're sending it over onto B.
Aduh, Cok.
But T1, while pulling off the
Jason
same
bandel banget ya,
maneuvers from the
ngepick-ngepick
previous
ya.
round. Instead of Carpe, it's going to be easier, though. I think he just spotted him.
He saw him for sure. Did they see him is the question. They didn't see him.
Right around it. I have no idea. Devi waiting for the curtain to fall.
Last player standing.
Mind Freak, unfortunately, suffering that first contact.
Now they know.
Rossi.
What a read.
Smart as ever. Devi just having to go for it regardless. And that's going to be T1 equalizing the score again.
jadi
We have
8 sama,
a game
guys.
in our hands.
Absolutely. These retakes have been really, really good
This is
for
not
T1.
good, guys. This is not
Able to
good.
play
This is not
patiently
good.
enough. Not falling for any of the traps, any of the trickery, using
Jason
a little
open-
bit of their
open
own.
pick banget,
Saya
Cok.
staying hidden long enough. And that sends things into disarray for Paperrex. Mind Freak there trying to take a high angle. See if he can find one, and then Devi can play off of it, but Devi's never able to find that comfort to push through the high tide like he wanted.
He's never quite sure what's on the other side, and now
Udah ulti lagi sini, Cok. Saya play.
T1 recovering, having the mindfulness to play around this map. Paperrex wanting to deal with that B lobby push. Now just taking quick control over Hookah. You've got to check that corner. Saya player with the showstopper at the right time.
Agak ada yang ini, Cok.
Down to it. Still T1 winning out in the exchange. Paperrex, the blind execute does not pay off.
Trying to take a page out of T1's book. Saw that when there was a weaker buy for T1 where they kind of exploded onto the B site. Using that Reckoning to try to clear the space, and T1 just says, nah, we're going to hold. Good luck. We got better guns.
Time out.
Right now, they've got better gunplay as well. What a push out. What a timing through that TP to find that showstopper.
I mean, just playing into T1's hand, because T1 has, in the past few rounds now, controlled this B lobby, and then knowing that Paperrex, now maybe on a bit of an eco, this is probably what they'll do.
Attackernya kayak kurang
Player was
gini, guys. Mereka
prepared
guys
to full send it. right past that teleporter.
Absolutely.
Biasa teker mereka kencang kan,
And
guys ya?
that's so smart. And right now, T1's kind of starting to read the map really nicely, finding their own little trap plays and set plays that are coming through. I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. No give up. Heartbreaking loss onto Lotus, but that hasn't stopped T1 from giving it their all here on Bind. There's no mental let go. Doing a great job keeping them in the game. The coaches, I really noticed X-Curate being really vocal over there. It's definitely starting to look really good for T1 side on Bind. After losing the pistol 3 in a row, close to some big ultimates, the Viper's Pit and the Thrash.
Find the weak point.
Do have Device Seekers. This might be some kind of fast hit.
Gotta be prepared for it. Don't know if the fast hit's gonna be good enough though. Nice little snake fight lineup from Rossi. Deters Paperrex from further aggressing into hookah. The rest of them have already rotated onto A in case Paperrex made the transition over. Interesting little high tide.
VRPRX bang, itu Irfan apa bang? Ini pakai Steel Series.
Giving them the ability to take sort of the launching points,
santai guys.
get onto the site.
Ada Davai, ada ulti ya.
Nobody from T1 is going to do much, but there might be a quick TP play off of this potentially. I'm curious.
9 sama sih guys.
Here they go.
Forsaken turns back around. The Seekers went out. Jing has stayed back.
Nice one.
So a bit of an early trade now. Forsaken might have fallen, but that's still okay. Look at how Jing's perched up on top of this box. Spikes down, thrashes through, and Jing's still pretty much okay. Even has time and space to go further in through halls. Might be able to wrap back around against side player and Rossi. The rest of the Paperrex squad still very much alive though. Jing up around Elbow, peeks back out again. Takes down the wingman, but oh my goodness, little homie has gotten the spike defuse.
Great awareness there from T1. It looked like maybe Paperrex is going to be able to hold on, but knowing that they needed to play, protect the VIP there. In this case, it is the wingman who is our VIP, and they're able to get it done. Jing seeing if he can help. Forsaken doing what he could, but that flash caught him. He just held it down. Saya so good with the op right now. Rossi really on point with his reads. Where people are going to be.
Aduh, Cok. Kenapa
Now it's
ya?
starting to feel like maybe
Jelek banget ya tag-nya ya.
we're going to see a map 3.
Really does feel like it. T1 very much so in the driver's seat for this map right now, at least in the second half. The way that they're just swapping sides back and forth, making use of the teleporters in their retake process, catching Paperrex on the timings of things. Against that launching pad right now, Paperrex looking to take over Garden. The Empress,
Oh
but
my
everyone's
God.
been blinded by Carpe's. At the same time, Izu's guiding light as well.
Just utility for utility and 2 for 2. I thought maybe Carpe was going to
Rotate nggak sih,
knock
bro?
down a few more there.
Rotate nggak sih? Kalau masih dimasukin sih gue nggak tahu lagi sih guys.
Valoranted outside of V-Long. Straight into B site. Got the high tide now for a bit more cover just to cut the side in half. Paperrex setting up for a bit of a quick peek.
More lurks. Look at Rossi.
A little bit afraid of hookah, yeah, and Rossi as well. Got to deal with the site first though. Side player is still very much tucked away and hidden. Suddenly coming back in for the trade. Side steps out. Online for the quad. Has to pick up the spike, but he has no idea that Rossi's right here. T1 breaking it past 10.
It's part of kind of what they needed to start doing on Lotus a little bit, but you're absolutely right. The teleporters are a big part of this.
Dia kan
but
udah tahu ya
these
di long ya.
These unexpected positions that they're finding, kind of keeping Paperrex at bay. You know, they can scrap with them, that's great. They'll get the even trades, but able to hide in positions like Saya player right there. Rossi's done it a bunch of times.
Dia nggak tahu,
where he's
matinya
kinda
sama si
slipped
itu guys.
around. Him and Saya both, frankly,
Nggak
have
tahu
been
dia
doing a great
matinya.
job with it. And that's
Nggak
really
tahu dia nggak tahu. Gue kira mati sama yang long si
keeping
Davai.
Paperrex off balance, keeping them from storming away with this match.
It's one of those times where Forsaken's high tide works against him, but now just full send into the A side. Jing, classic with the judge. He goes in, nails down Execute, picks up the rifle, but Carpe answers right back in kind, just as quick. Dizzy sent up, Trailblazer trying to find him, but not found just yet. Spike is not planted because it's not safe enough. Easy right around the corner. Device hopped off it for a second.
Masih di plan loh, Cok. Gue bingung deh guys mereka, Cok.
It's gonna be Mindfreak committing the orbital strike just to give them a little bit more security. Rossi, the last one left,
Kalau
trying
kalah
to
sih gue
wrap
nggak
back
tahu lagi guys
around
ya.
from Lamps. Does he know though? Something does know. I was thinking more about Mindfreak watching the
Guys,
angle.
jangan kasih 12 guys.
HyperX keeping things competitive as we near the end of this map.
There's that explosive Jing entry that you love to see. The way he can just dive in, use that reckoning, make it a little easier to identify his target, knock it down with the judge.
Di one tap bro, ayo bisa
Forsaken.
dong.
Yeah, he doesn't get
Kan
the-
M-nya
yeah.
sakit guys,
Yeah.
tapi kayaknya kayak timingnya nggak dapet gitu.
They can get their full coordination going
Bisa
on
bisa
these
Son.
executes. They're
Ayo Jason top frag anjing.
They can take their licks and punches. They know that, yeah, you know, T1 trying to play around these teleporters, so Paperrex just comes right back in around to
Son tuh jadi lawan Son.
catch them with a quick and fast and heavy hit. T1 adjusting right back though. Now trying to play around the teleport towards B. Looking towards Carpe as well as Excurate. Saya player with the op as well.
Oh my God.
Paperrex playing their own teleported plays.
Nice.
And Izu, unfortunately, not quite able to land the shot. Mindfreak on a bit of a lurk for himself. Catches onto the first player. Wingman throws off his crosshair. Great plays from Carpe as he tries to even out the numbers. Spike, however, will still be planted for Paperrex.
Carpe's Gecko play is so good, man. He's so confident on this agent.
Yeah, nice.
Even though they're going to lose this round, they're going to have to cede it over because of their economy. Need to save these guns. I mean, the way he's so tricky with his utility, his wingman's got it defused. So many impactful dizzies. Great thrash earlier. You know, they were one of the first teams. People don't remember this, but T1 was one of the first teams to start running Gecko on this map. Anywhere, really. And it was Carpe who kind of pioneered this style. It worked so well for T1. Now, Forsaken is going to drop the gun, but he's got enough money that he can go on a lookabout. Probably don't want to drop any more, though, for the side of Paperrex. You've got, as the attacking side, you got a little bit more control of the orbs. You're one alt orb away from two big ones, Showstopper and the Seekers. The timeout. This, I think,
things are heating up.
I think this could be interesting. I mean, you're giving Alex a chance here to kind of get into his team's mind, and it's really good during these timeouts. I mean, I like what T1 is doing.
Ini T1 sebenarnya kuat banget bro, lihat nggak sih guys? Dia punya retake bagus, dia attacking bagus, strasnya juga jalan.
Maybe they need to kind of play a little bit further back.
Buktinya mepet-mepet semua skornya bro.
During that time where they ran a bunch of rounds together. Don't get too scrappy.
But rather,
unless you get them like right at the point of attack, like that's okay. But if they're going to arrive, let them.
Buat dong.
Play for some retakes.
Ini kalau kayaknya sih yang top 5 lah ya. Paperrex, Genji, DREAMCORE, T1.
Full-on retake play. I mean, I'm thinking like they
Mungkin
might not
RRQ sih,
even
RRQ
work around
masuk
the
ya.
teleporter this round anymore. So
No.
Alex has to kind of anticipate a lot of these.
I think Alex needs to make sure that they're getting at least the showstopper from the orbs early.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying that I think as Autumn, you have to be recognizing that
FM mana,
situation and
FM
then
mana.
also calling for the
Take
deeper
a look
holds.
at the ultimate economy right now, and you're absolutely right, Paper Thin, because so many of them are close to their
Primanya
ultimates.
sih itu harusnya guys ya.
Execute.
Gila karpet top frag jing.
There's going to be a big contest for some of these spots on the map. And I'm taking a look at, you know, right outside B Long, B Garden.
Nice choose.
The pings
Mereka tuh
across
selalu
the map.
ngambil set yang cuma dua atau dua orang doang guys. 3 orangnya selalu nggak diambil.
Not the greatest for T1 though, so Paperrex stands a chance at turning this on its head. There it is, showstopper.
Udah nggak ada showstopper, Cok.
Picked up.
Tuh, mereka fast rotate, mereka tuh harus cepat juga guys masuknya ke dalam set.
There we go. Carpe with Thrash just to hold them as long as the timer allows.
I think he's anticipating the showstopper there.
Right. Dives right back into himself.
Udah rotate makanya guys, susah kalau mereka main lama ya.
Divide trying to keep them at bay. High Tide as well, just for added cover. Sight cut in half now, but then there's that additional thrash. Paperrex this time prepared for it. They knew that they were going to try to play around that Gecko. They knew that they were going to try to play around lamps in some of these spots on the map.
Player nggak dapat lagi.
Spike now planted. T1 without their limbs, without any arms and legs, gonna have to save.
And it's just that little pump of the brakes from Paperrex. I think the anticipation there with the util starting to come out that you can use that thrash while Jing is trying to find a spot to get in with that showstopper potentially to catch him and slow that down. Or just get anybody on the entry. It doesn't really matter who it is. Now that's interesting.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Trying to find whatever you can get.
That's kind of whatever to Paperrex. I mean, they don't care too much about that.
It's more for a Cyan player to hold on to that off.
Yeah, and also Izu gets a little closer to his ult. He might have it, I'm not sure.
Pokoknya jangan ketemu sama saya player udah menang guys. Kalau saya player dapat OP itu yang bahaya guys ya.
Overtime is possibly on the cards here, Paper Thin.
Well, I mean,
our first one.
Yeah, and it seems to be kind of a.
Yeah, no need to go shower. Just use my cabbage for the.
Good ideas.
Timeout lagi Jing.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, overtime. Yeah. Well, they had an overtime the last time they played. That's what I was thinking about.
That's true on split.
Ayo nggak masuk VCT Pacific bang. Nah, kalau Ayo masuk VCT Ascension, VCT Ascension Pacific menang juara 1 bakal masuk Blade guys.
Autumn trying to call for it once more. Like you mentioned, Paper Thin, Alex gets to discuss something. I'm not sure what more is needed.
Saya
But
player,
they're
kamu
definitely
siapa?
aware of Jing's potential to use the rockets. Excurrent has his reckoning available as well. Does T1 want to take the lead?
RRQ bisa langsung masuk bang, karena RRQ kemarin pas pencarian kontrak dia tuh lolos seleksi teman-teman. Kemarin tuh seleksi buat 10 tim yang masuk VCT Pacific itu susah guys. Harus punya fanbase besar, keuangannya bagus, punya fan, pokoknya banyak lah. Akhirnya RRQ kan lumayan bagus ya di dunia ya, jadi dia kepilih. Terus dia ada Lemon kan.
Hang back.
I could see either. I think because it's a rifle buy, because you're able to get all of your rifles up, yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see a hang back.
Because it's Jing's showstopper, I feel like that's...
Exactly.
That's the catalyst right now.
I got the spot.
Right, all it takes is Jing finding one off the back of these Seekers. Look at them, they're scattering. They are just going to the wind.
Jing going to set up for it.
But he's hanging onto it.
We've got Showers control too.
Here goes.
It connects onto Rossi. Carpe though swings out at the right time. There's a bit of a trade. Something along with the Emperor too stays alive. Saya player still into the fray though. Along with its operator. Does not expect Forsaken from behind.
Let's go. 12-11 yo.
Paperrex.
Mereka miskin guys.
Dominating this exchange, this firefight. The crowd starting to chant for the team. Paperrex. As they approach match point. Excurate, he's not out yet though.
Rusuh banget, pusing gua liatnya, iya cok sama.
Slowly approaching out, throws to front, anticipates the angle, flicks on towards his brother. Now on towards the Reckoning. That will give him a lot of information. Spots out Divide, tosses in the Cove, creates a little bit more space for himself. Has to swing out the sides. Spots out another player.
Nice, bye.
Not quite able to land the duel. He knew that his back was exposed. The nerves feeling a little bit all too much. And it allows for Paperrex 4 rounds in a row towards match point.
I thought he might just try to save, but I
guess followers game RRQ paling banyak banget cuy. Iya.
Squeeze out. Gun Saya player had no idea. You're absolutely right. There's a few extra wrinkles here. And again, it's a slight pause for Paperrex where they don't. They set up and execute, and it looks like there's going to be a showstopper.
Follower IG paling banyak.
They hesitate.
Kok bandelnya nggak terlalu banyak?
Gets on top of the box at short A, and then goes up and over when they're just not quite ready for the timing. The Reckoning to try to clear space, but it's all a fake. Excurate. Oh my gosh, so close.
Now just continuing to back off. Paperrex trying to stay themselves alive, but T1 want overtime so bad. They've managed to deal with the initial onslaught. Paperrex hanging back.
Because Excurate gets out of there with his life, then he could use the high tide to keep Paperrex from pressing forward onto B. They will continue to slide over in this direction.
Hati-hati karena bocil Kingdom. Sorry, kita kan teman bocil Kingdom. Kita teman guys. Aduh, something harus dapat sih.
Side player marking Hookah. Lands first shot. Excurate with the off angle. Might bring it in for the trade.
Anjing OT, bro.
But now the entire T1 army, all of the archers,
gara-gara
all of the
bocil,
cavalry have
gara-gara kita
arrived.
ini guys, kita akan cuak-cuakin
Can
nih
you
guys.
take them down? The lone Ronin. Guiding light, he slipped past the smoke. Looks towards the first player, but Izu just a little bit sharper. Pushes us into the first overtime of VCT 2024 Pacific Stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable what Xkira gets away with. I mean, Forsaken trying to do everything he can, but again, because his brother able to slip past the initial aggression, he's able to buy enough time, use his own utility to keep Paperrex from pushing forward. And now an so important round. It was even, I think, on both halves. It was 6-6, both sides.
Wah, hanya diras,
So
Ki.
nobody's really gotten
Itu
an advantage
diras
one
lagi,
way or
hanya
another,
bangsat,
like getting the
bangsat.
early,
Hanya diras,
let's say, attacker
Jing.
side win or whatever. Actually
Aduh,
doesn't seem to
gue
make too much
nggak nyaman
of a
ngeliatnya,
difference
guys.
in this, and the fans are letting each of their favorite teams know. A little bit of a spot for Jing. Couldn't do any damage.
We're just all feasting today. T1. I mean, another impressive thing is just how well Carpe has been performing on this map. He's up by 23 kills.
He's just phenomenal on so far.
Besok RRQ guys ya. Aduh, besok gue
Great
langsung
job
RRQ
keeping
lagi.
T1 in this game. As that Gecko utility so on point as well. This is dangerous.
Desperately trying to
nice
push
banget.
themselves into a third map, but
Nice.
Mind Freak does not allow them through.
And there's-
Spike carrier dropped as well. I think he's definitely called it.
Yeah, and there's one of those Forsaken pushes with that cascade, but this time he has backup. You know, trying to cut off a fight, trying to isolate players.
Oh,
He's
that's
got
so much
Mind Freak there.
information.
Yeah, yep, they pretty much should know. But they're kind of waiting.
Retake nggak sih, retake nggak sih, retake nggak sih?
Anticipating
Fai, datang nggak sih, Fai?
grabbing the spike and a rotate. They still haven't shifted anywhere else but showers. Now they're going with that Kode there. Great hold from Mind Freak.
Might as well let them sweat. Sad player with a great dink though.
30 seconds left.
So comes back in. 30 seconds left. Spike still dropped out in the open. It's cold. Rossi tries to capture a little bit more space now. Trying to set up for something with his utility, but Jing catches him off the timing. Oh!
Let's go!
Double satchel up on top of truck. Hello! Right up over the edge.
Switching sides.
That's the most Jing thing ever. He's at 41 HP, and your opponent's like, well, there's no way he's going to push me because he's low health. He's going to wait.
Nope. I am going to push you.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
And he's just unbelievable.
Hello.
So fast, too. It's
Nice.
the
Nice.
quickness with which he reacts when he lands
Jing
to
panas juga
stuff.
guys. Jing diam 2-1
There's
kill
nobody
tiba-tiba,
that
Cok.
really does it
Emang
as well
beda
as
nih
him.
orang juga, guys.
Never has been.
That's why, like, although there's that kill lead in the form of Carpe, in the disparity,
Tuh, udah
Paperrex
ada
looking
saya player lagi
fairly
hanya, Cok.
even. You've got Forsaken and Jing both getting so many of their kills. Now back onto the attacking side. Looking for the execute, looking for the set play and the protocols to capture spaces on towards A. Saya player tries to sneak up behind them. He's infiltrated their back lines.
He's been so good at this throughout this map. Look at Mind Freak, though, checking on the lurk. They have to clear.
It's
Rossi.
pivotal. Still staying tucked away. Execute marking him. Device starts things off as he finds and discovers Saya player. This could be it.
Poison's off.
Rossi slowly pushing up front now.
Nice!
Two of them
Let's
all
go,
together,
baby!
all at once.
Let's go!
Paperrex. It's another overtime, but it ends just as quick as it starts. 14-12. T1 will not be able to make it past Paperrex today.
Looking rather good for Paperrex. T1
2-0.
still keeping
Salam.
pace.
2-0.
Still showing that they can fight tooth and nail with Paperrex.
Nice. Gila kencang ya, kuat ya, kuat ya, kuat ya.
To take a
Kuat
map
ya.
against them.
Kuat champion semifinalist masih kuat ya.
It's been close twice so far this year.
Oke guys,
They've
kita lanjut
almost
lagi
been able
guys.
to get him in overtime,
Nanti
but
kita akan main Valorant biasa guys ya.
yet again, Jing
Oke,
returns.
Bang Kapan nanti kalau mau
We're
ikutan
back
guys, ayo.
to Paperrex.
Oke, kita akan istirahat dulu sebentar, mungkin guys gua mandi.
We saw the greatness
kita
of
lanjut lagi mungkin jam 10
Some
ya.
of the
Jam
great
10 mungkin,
ideas,
guys.
the great strategies that they pulled off. the way that they work the map on by with the teleporters against Paperrex, it brought them
guys.
to overtime.
Yang bagus ya 2-0 guys ya.
Even Carpet with the Gecko.
Thank you teman-teman yang udah nonton semua.
Like
makasih ikut follow gas nanti. Makasih udah like, share, subscribe. Jangan lupa follow Instagram buat schedule live streaming lebih lanjutnya lagi guys. Kita lanjut lagi ntar di next live streaming.
The more time they get together, the more practice they get
ya,
together. And I don't think it'll
interview
take
mama ada
long.
interview guys. Oh interview dulu guys, interview.
Back with your old team.
Mau interview dulu guys.
Yeah, man. It's mom's cooking, man. Sometimes you just want to go home and have a great meal. Go back to that comfort. Certainly, this has to feel comfortable. Yeah, but you know, again, T1 looked better than last time, so that's improvement.
Yeah, that said, though, we will toss it over to our analysts to tell us how is Jing's return.
How is Jing's return? The crowd is going wild. This is the first time I've heard full-on chanting in the stadium since we started. Well, I mean, it's only since yesterday, but there's so much enthusiasm to have Jing back and to have this form of Paperrex. While it went really deep into Masters Madrid, he had a different kind of confidence here, a different kind of energy. It's the old Paperrex.
I mean, it is, and that's exactly what I expected, which is why I thought that they were going to be able to take this series in the end. I mean, Jing just, he slots back in. I think they wisely stick to just shifting something off of that Gecko back over onto the Reyna rather than trying to go for anything crazy with the Yoru combinations. They keep it nice and simple on the side of Paperrex. As we're talking, you know, to Alex earlier, I asked him, you know, is there going to be any experimentation? Clearly, no. There just hasn't been time for that yet.
Yeah, but I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was working so well back then. Just use it right now. And additional to that, Forsaken has just been phenomenal with the support utility that he's been throwing out here for both Jing and Something. Just the timing on those pushes. Like these cascades, they just push aggressively and get 2 kills out of nowhere.
Kita live-in MLP deh. Mungkin kalau live MLP gue lebih cepet sih. Mungkin jam 9 kali.
Cam, like even when he's acing and he's getting these amazing 3-4 Ks and he's just casually fist bumping. Otherwise, it doesn't look like he's playing like he's sick. So this has been great. But you know what? This is also a huge testament to T1 because they were really close. I mean, we went into overtime. Stage 1.
Yeah, I mean, they continue to get so damn close to this Paperrex squad. Can't quite crack them. So that map win against this team, still eluding T1. And I think that that's probably what's going to hurt the most for them. Not the loss overall, but the fact that they just can't quite get across the finish line for a single map win versus Paperrex. But I mean, I think we had some slow starts, you know, easy on that first map, especially somebody that needed to really pick up that pace and had been able to do so. Likely would have been Lotus going their way, maintaining that 100% win rate on that map. But you know, everything is there for T1. It's just about really getting the stars to align at the perfect moment versus Paperrex to be able to take them down. But I think against basically any other opponent aside from PRX, Gen G, T1, they should be feeling incredibly confident. This team has so much damn skill. Carpe going crazy on Vine, by the way, with his fragging there. I think that T1, this is a tough pill to swallow right off the rip to kick off stage 1. But in the end, I think that they have a very strong season ahead of them.
I wouldn't be surprised to see both of these teams in playoffs. I would almost expect it, actually. So, I mean, great job to T1, too. And we have our own winnings to celebrate. Thank you, Paperrex. I mean, not only our predictions for Paperrex, but also our prediction, which team will go on a timeout first. Alex never fails when it comes to giving us a timeout. No death slamming, though.
Thank you for holding out, Autumn.
Yeah.
We were kind of just shouting, we need to get this reverse sweep in the first half just to get our prediction correctly.
It looked like it wasn't going to happen, actually, because Paperrex was in the lead and then it changed. So
you're up there now.
He's
up in Asteroid goes up to Immortal. We get back to Gold. So we're back to where we started. So that's at least a positive, I suppose, or a neutral.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm here.
You know,
how's it feel?
I will say, I was told by the Koreans while the game was going on, because we were talking about the rankings, so they're also doing this on their broadcast. I was told that there's a prize. We don't know what it is.
Gue nggak tahu guys konten warming kapan guys. Masalahnya gue harus cari teman-teman.
I would have been taking this so much more seriously, putting actual thought into it rather than just punting votes every single time. So now that I know that there's something of value or some kind of value on the line, I'm going at this completely die hard.
I've seen you take games really seriously, and it's going to get a little stressful here at the desk playing these little games. You're just all smiles, Asterai.
That's an early lead.
Tell us about your techniques,
Bang,
you know,
interview,
into
Bang.
obtaining, you know, these wins, ranking up to Immortal. What's your secret?
Interview.
It's a Filipino coin, you know? It's only accessible to Filipinos, so it's working out. But you know what? I'm happy because I won't be here tomorrow, so I'll just be stuck at Immortal for a while.
There you go. That's the strategy. Get in, get up early, and then just dip.
Yeah, there's no rank decay here, so he gets to sit there until he comes back. We are going to go to an interview. I'm not sure who we're interviewing, but I do know that our MVP definitely has to be Forsaken.
Yeah, I mean, just across the maps that we saw, I mean, hell, he started things off on Lotus so incredibly well. He had the ace there, and to be in the form that he's in right now, even while being a bit under the weather, I think that you do have to give it to Forsaken. You can go for a storyline MVP, give it the Jing so we can hear from him on stage, you know, after his first day back, but ultimately Forsaken was just the linchpin in this victory.
Yeah, it just feels like there's that duality here for Forsaken that he can be incredibly high.
Letal nggak sih guys? Ntar malam letal nggak sih?
He
Letal
just
bro.
looks like he's stone cold deadly and just still also
Letal bareng
perform, which
viewers
is
nggak sih?
insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's just the most valuable
Ada ini
player.
kan
in
apa
the
ada
world.
Butler ya?
I
Butler
think
ya?
at this
Butler
point, I
kayak
don't
serem
think
tuh.
that is
Update baru guys.
at all ridiculous to say. I think this guy is just absolutely nuts.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the kind of focus he had, he just knew he had a job to get done here. He knew he had to be a team player. And you know, we saw this coming from Gen G when they won during kickoff and the semis. When Texture wasn't feeling well, when one of the other team members aren't feeling up to snuff, you know, they communicate with the rest of their team members and they step up and help them out. But in this case, Forsaken is like, I got it. Here, Jing had Jing moments. I was so happy to see it. I know we were all waiting for those Satchel moments where he just kills people in super unorthodox ways. Like, why, you know, Ferrari peak when you can just satchel up onto
I mean, that last
and
one, yeah, that last one to take down Saya player, just it was so low HP, nearly getting traded out by Rossi, just pops him over the top, instant headshots him. I mean, he plus ones Forsaken to get the highest ACS
Something
in the lobby.
dikit banget ya?
So those guys just
180
continuing to
doang,
be
padahal killnya
absolutely
dikit-dikit
neck and
loh
neck.
sama
I mean, again, a big shout out to Carpe with his performance. I think that this was very, very strong from him. That Gecko continues to look absolutely disgusting in his hands. But, you know, things a bit rough around the edges. A couple, you know, it's just a couple moments in these rounds. Not even the rounds themselves, just a couple moments, a couple decisions, a couple whiffs that go differently in T1's favor. And
Jangan
you know,
bilang
this
ada
is us going
interview
into a
dan
third
nunggu
map.
nih guys,
Same
setengah
thing
jam
we
nih,
said to
10 menit nih guys ngobrol.
these numbers, by the way, were crazy on both sides. The kill count on both sides, multi-Ks from both teams. But with that, we are going to go down to our interview because I know you guys want to hear from the winners.
Ini dia guys. Siapa nih? Jing kah?
Hey guys,
Ya,
I'm
Jason,
standing
Cok.
here with
Apa anjing?
Forsaken after Paperrex take away that 2-0 win against T1. Now Forsaken, I know you're not feeling well, so I'm not going to keep you here for so long. But so how are you feeling today? Are you feeling better?
I mean, today is feeling better, yeah.
All right. Now with the
Jason
return
lagi
of
sakit,
Jing,
guys.
I know you guys had
Jason tuh lagi
less than a
sakit,
week
so
to
gua.
practice, but it felt like he just never left for us. So you know, did it feel that way for you as well?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, even though like last time he watched from behind screen, but we felt the way that he really support our team and watching from behind, you know. So yeah.
And I feel like your brother Kevin, he improved so much since the kickoff as well. So any thoughts on how much he's grown?
Yeah, I mean, you guys
Lagi sakit
actually
dia, emang lagi sakit setahu gua.
trying to like, I would say try to believe flex as well. He tries like a lot of agents, but definitely is really improving.
Right, last but not least, you guys are going up against Gen G next Saturday.
langsung ketemu Gen G,
with
anjing.
Jing this time. So how's it going to be different?
I think it's gonna be different now because now we have really like five power. It's like I think Paperrex, the old one is back, but I think we maybe need more time. I hope we can adjust fast and win against Genji.
All right, thank you so
Gelo.
much for
Thank
speaking. I
you.
really appreciate it. Go get some rest. You can go now.
Dia lagi sakit
And I'm
cowok
gonna
tuh.
toss it
Lagi
over
sakit
to
aja
you guys on the
MVP
deck.
guys. Gimana nggak sakit bro? Tas tuh tas. Gitu guys ya. Oke. Teman-teman kita udah dulu guys. Makasih udah nonton guys. Sampai jumpa di next live stream.
Couple words
Kita
from
nanti
Forsaken.
di-
He seems pretty happy. He's
main
definitely
Valorant
still under
bareng.
the weather, but
Bersama dengan
definitely
teman-teman.
performing
Follow
like
Lover
nothing.
guys ya. Sampai
Just
jumpa.
gonna
See you
get
and
me up right there.
bye bye
Come back in,
guys.
get the win,
Makasih
get
guys
yourself some
ya.
championship
Arigato
points.
gozaimasu.